Hello. Wanted to check audio levels, that was all.
Hey everyone. Yeah, you guys can probably hear Ross is just joining me in the Discord and we're just having a quick chat. So I thought I'd unmute the mics early. Well, I know we've still got a minute and 14 of countdown, but welcome along. Ross, are you planning on joining me for some races today? Or are you just gonna come and chill, or what are your plans?
I plan to join this GT3 race we've
Excellent.
got planned, but whether we're in the same live stream or not, sorry, the same split.
We're definitely on the same live stream.
Yes, we're definitely on the same live stream. But yeah, whether we're going to be in the same split or not, I don't know. Yeah, I just jumped on early because I just realised I've got a new headset and I need to check like the audio levels. So I'm assuming everything's like fine, but
You sound hunky-dory to me.
oh, hunky.
Hopefully you sound good to those watching the stream. Guys, let us know if Ross sounds beautiful or if he sounds horrible.
Oh, he looks terrible though on stream. He's looking awful.
Good thing it's not a visual medium for you anyway.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank goodness.
Unfortunately, I don't have the same sort of safety margin, let's say.
Yeah. You've been in makeup for a couple of hours, so you know it should be okay.
Yeah. Anyway, the countdown's got 5 seconds to go, so I reckon we're. I'm going to stop yabbering absolute nonsense, turn on the camera, and actually say hello. Hello. Welcome along. Nice to have you all along for the stream. It's a bit different to usual as well, because today I'm actually doing a combination of games. I'm not just focusing on one sim and one set of races. I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of soft comparison, let's say. I mean, it's not going to be like a deep dive, very, very technical analysis on the intricacies of the tyre model, because I've not had enough time on both of them since I've come back from Le Mans to actually form strong opinions. I've just literally fired them up, given it a quick go to make sure everything's working, and then voila. So I'm going to look at today as my way of sort of getting a feel for the new tyre models. I'll obviously be letting you guys know what I think as I go, but the most important thing, of course, is the fact that I'm going to be doing some races. So we're going to have some fun. I'm going to be jumping in some GT3 fixed races on iRacing. I'm also going to be jumping in, hopefully, some GT3 fixed races on Le Mans Ultimate. We'll just see what series I do based on the timings of it all, but I have a rough plan that if things go to schedule, I can stick to get a couple of races on both platforms. And yeah, Ross is obviously here and hopefully going to join me for this opening race. We don't know if we'll be in the same split because it's iRacing, but I've got, I think on closed cockpit road courses, I think I'm like an iRating of 2,100 at the moment. So if you're something similar, then we might be in the same race.
I think I'm like 1,800-ish.
Okay. It's going to be close.
But yeah, like my license is like a C. It's actually like 4.99, so if like I have a decent race, I should get up to a B license.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I'm really not sure about like pace or anything like that.
One question I have for you, sorry guys, I know you're seeing random things on the screen right now, but I'll get that sorted in just a second. One question I have for you, Ross, is are you actually eligible for the GT3 Fixed Series?
Yeah, I've just registered for it, so
well, good. I can't remember what class it is, like what whether it's class C or B or whatnot. So that's obviously good then.
Yeah,
perfect.
Even people in scum class like me are eligible for the GT3 Fixed Series.
Even Ross with his dangerous driving.
Yeah. Well, don't speak too soon.
Oh, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be plowing into everyone. No, hopefully not. Hopefully not. I see you in the practice session though, so that's a good start. I am, guys, going to be driving the BMW M4 GT3 for two reasons. One, because it's the car I drove the most in iRacing. It's one of the few modern GT3s that I actually own. and therefore I have a little bit of a feeling for how it actually was before the update, let's say. And also because it's a car that's obviously popular in LMU, so I can jump straight into BMW on LMU and then kind of talk about my feelings. So our first race here is in about 13 minutes. We're doing GT3 fixed around Brands Hatch. So I'm not a regular iRacing racer, let's say. I don't do regular iRacing GT3 races. I've done a handful in the past. So I'm coming at this as sort of a from the perspective of someone who's, you know, not done too many races but done a few, so I'll be learning stuff as we go, and I'm just going to analyze what I feel as we go and just have some fun with it and see how we get on. And I think Ross is kind of similar, right? We've done a bit of iRacing in the past, we've dabbled, and obviously we do iRacing for articles and updates and all these kind of things, but I don't think either of us have spent like month on end being, you know, well, I did when I was a kid anyway, but I don't think in recent years either of us have spent months on end with iRacing as our number one sim that we're doing more than anything else.
No. So basically I tested iRacing's new GT3s just like last week, and or was it the week before? God, I can't even remember. And I think that they're actually like a big step forward to what they were before.
Yeah.
In terms of like tyre model behaviour, it just feels much more connected to the road. But I think the last time we did any kind of like racing on iRacing was like our driver swap events.
Yes.
Or did we do like a touring car event, a TCR event as well?
I think we did one back in the day. It was a while. Yeah, I think. Well, I definitely did some testing for it. I don't know if I actually did the race, but I remember you and me and our friend Chris as well.
Oh yeah, Chris Hack, yeah. So yeah, as John said, we basically just dabble, drop in and out of iRacing, see what's happening, see if there's anything new, see if it's any better. And over the past few years, there's not many cars that kind of capture your imagination, I would say. Speaking personally, I've never really got on that well with iRacing in the past, but this the new GT3 tyre model is like as good enough for me to kind of jump back in and seriously think about, you know, racing a lot more kind of consistently in iRacing.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
And based on I jumped on last night just to get everything working, make sure, just get a small basic feel so that when I jumped into this session now, I've done a few laps so that I'm not coming in completely cold. I haven't done any today yet, but one thing I would say is my initial impression straight away was that it had improved the overall feeling, and not just in terms of, I'm trying to think of how to put this, but there's a difference, right, between authenticity and enjoyment in terms of what an update does. That's what I'm a bit nervous about with LMU. I think there's probably been some changes to make it more authentic that have maybe taken away from some of the enjoyment for some people. And iRacing, I think this update, from what I felt, actually improves both areas, because I feel like, having not driven a GT3 car, but I have driven other kind of different style of GT racers and different, variety of different cars, just not GT3 specifically. So I can't really talk from exact experience, but what I can say is how a GT car can feel. And I think iRacing beforehand, the kind of slightly eggshell tyre model where, it could very quickly go on you, and then the tyres were super hot and it felt like you were almost driving on ice for the next few laps. That was, I think, a bit too far. And from what I've felt with this new update, it's fixed some of that, where it just feels a little bit more, let's say, reasonable, and therefore I would say maybe more authentic. You can still spin, obviously, and lose it with cold tyres, but the way the tyre heat comes in, the way the tyres react after you do have an accident, it all feels a little bit better in terms of both authenticity, but also in terms of enjoyment. It feels like you can actually drive the cars a little bit more, or a little bit less defensive, but that doesn't mean that you can just chuck it around, right? Like, it's not like I can send it into the corners like I could on R-Factor 2 or utilize the slip angle. I've still got to drive it sensibly and smoothly, which is realistic, but it's just given me a little bit more wiggle room on corner exits, and I just feel a little bit less tentative, I would say. And that's just talking off my first, 5-6 laps.
Oh, that's definitely true for me as well. I'm going to go grab some water and get prepared.
Very nice. Well, hopefully we're in the same split, but we'll just have to wait and see. I think it's going to be touch and go.
Yeah, no, I think I might be a bit too rubbish.
Maybe. We'll I think we're 300 iRating apart, so I think there's a chance that I might be in like split, bottom of split 2. You might be somewhere in split 3, but who knows? Maybe if we get lucky and I'm maybe one of the higher ratings in the third split and you're one of the lower ratings, we might just squeeze into the same one. Just depends how many people register. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Right, while Ross goes away, hello to everyone in the chat. Hey, Ibrahim, it's been great to see you in the chat again. Hopefully you've been enjoying... Oh, I've spun as soon as I've started chatting. Hopefully you enjoyed the Forza Motorsport video yesterday. I know you're someone who's a regular player of the game, so hopefully you found my own opinions interesting on it. Hey, Zachary, how's it going? LMU later on in this stream. We will get to it. Don't worry, we're going to do iRacing first. Then I'm going to go on LMU, and then the plan is to get back on iRacing maybe again at the end, depending on how timings are going, just so we can really get a feel for the two of them back to back. James is here as well. How's it going, James? And GTX Forza's here. Great to see you again. Hopefully you're having a nice week. Oh, Corvette's gone off. So yeah, the race starts at 2:15, guys. So I'm just doing a few laps to get my eye in now. We've got 7 minutes till the session starts. Oh, nice, Ibrahim. Yeah, it would be ridiculous if you agreed with everything. Don't worry. So that's all part of it. And the thing is, Forza is such a divisive game. You know, lots of people absolutely love that game. Lots of people can't stand it. And there are people like me who sit somewhere in the middle where I can get a really enjoyable experience out of it in the right circumstances. And when it's working, it's great. But there are also like flaws that disappoint me with it and certain traits I'm not a fan of. So that's totally natural. But glad you enjoyed the video. I did notice I made a small mistake in there as well, talking about car points systems, where I said that you still need to be a certain car level in order to actually buy particular upgrades, but that's actually been phased out now, and I hadn't clocked that when I was making that particular point. So that's my apologies. But other than that, yeah, hopefully it was good. Hey Tom, how's it going? I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Just looking forward to a Friday afternoon of GT3 racing. Love racing around Brands Hatch GP. Brilliant layout. Love the M4 GT3. Not going to be quite up to speed, but doesn't really matter. I'm just looking to have a good fun battle wherever, and we'll see what we can do. But yeah, I do just, so far, very, very initial impressions are really positive for this iRacing update. And I've always been a fan of iRacing with, let's say, a fan of it, but with obviously minor points that I feel it doesn't do as well as some other titles, or things that bug me a little bit. But overall, I've always been an advocate of what iRacing do as a service.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
But this is, for me, the best the GT3s have ever felt. Also, I believe John is... Did you say you were building something? Building a rig, or putting pedals on, was it? Good to see you back in the stream again. Hey Kathy, how's it going? Don't know where you are in the world, but if it's the morning, I'm guessing there could be many places in the world where it's the morning right now. I'm just racing on single screen at the moment. I've got a ViewSonic 4K 60 monitor. I don't actually know the specs of it or the name of it off by heart, but I do have the specs in the description below. So if you check out the specs, the monitor might be on there, might not be. If it's not, I'll add it in future videos, but should give you an idea of what I'm using. I also feel that the tyres do take a couple of laps to come in, so the best performance comes on like lap 3 or 4, I would say, which is nice. And obviously we're on fixed setup, so we're also burning off fuel.
Yeah, definitely lap 3, heading into 4. You're supposed to get peak performance at lap 5, apparently.
Okay. Now let me try and focus in here and see if I can set a representative time. A little bit deep into the hairpin. Still, obviously, whoa, a bit slippy there. You can see the debris on the road, obviously getting on the marbles, and that instantly lost the back end, but it didn't snap on me, which was nice. So yeah, my driving style is obviously going to need a little bit more time on iRacing to really get the most out of the cars. So I'm not expecting to be up there in terms of pace by any stretch, but I'm comfortable, and that's the main thing. And you can always build from being, you know, if you're 95% there, you can always build on that. See, I think you can't really throw the car in. Like, I tried to be a bit aggressive there, and it didn't quite bite. I think you just need to be a little bit smoother, more progressive with your inputs, and then you get rewarded with the grip. Track limits as well, I don't have a clue, so we just got to play it a little bit cautiously here.
think they're actually a bit more lenient than what you expect.
Hmm.
I've seen a lot of people run really wide.
Yeah, it seems to be okay. I think I've got 1 or 2 off track so far, but nothing crazy. So into the 22s now, I think, or low 23s, is it? 23-1, not 22s yet, but we're 19th in this practice session, of which there are a lot of people. So, hey, I think we're already somewhere in the ballpark, but who knows? Now that is really tricky. See, kind of the hairpin, Ross, when you get the power down, the back does come round, and you've also got obviously the semi-recent update with the much more advanced marble build-up and stuff off the racing line, and we've obviously got that yellow and red slippery surface flag, and you can really feel it when you get the power on. You go over those marbles, the rear properly steps out, but it's catchable still. It's not ruining, the next lap, let's say.
Yeah, that's good.
Tom, do you mean the PMR video where we were in Zurich giving it a try? Is that when I binned it when I was trying to do the outro? You can really take a lot off the curb on is it Sterling's, the penultimate corner?
Oh yeah.
You can really abuse that on the inside. Oh, the official trailer. Sorry, yeah, the official trailer. Oh, as in like the yes, yeah, the career mode trailer. It's funny, I kind of need to watch that trailer again actually, because I was so focused on what it was kind of giving away in terms of the actual details and some of the words within it and the features, that I didn't actually pay attention to any of the nice cinematics or the actual visuals. I was so focused on features rather than just actually enjoying the trailer and looking at the shots they used. Oh, see there, I'm just going in too deep and understeering, so that's technique. Alright, I'm going to pull over because that's going to be us joining the session. How are we looking for pace? Also, guys, my face cam is in a slightly weird position for iRacing, so apologies. It's just so that it's in the normal spot for LMU, which is important with all the stuff on the screen. So I've just gone for a slight compromise on iRacing, and hopefully it doesn't cover anything too important. I think it might just slightly block your view of what's left of me, but you'll still be able to see around that, so should be fine. So yeah, pace 21.1 is the fastest. That's incredible. You've got a few people in 21s. That feels high 21 feels about right, considering I did a low 23 there, but obviously with room to improve. Want to be doing 22s. So yeah, we'll get there. That is the race session up, Ross.
Oh yeah, I see that. It's been so long since I've actually done a race in iRacing.
Yeah.
It's difficult to like remember what you actually do.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? When you jump between sims all the time and are trying different things constantly, and there's a lot of different sims out there. It's amazing how quickly you forget just the procedures and the general processes, because, like, and same for me with button assignments. Like, I can never ever get a kind of consistent button assignment thing going, because every time I jump on another game, it does an update and it resets, or I've got to reassign it, or it changes the device number. Like, I'm constantly reassigning buttons to things, and I never have it in my head what button does what. I need to really like try and solidify it across different platforms, I think.
Funny you mention it, because just like the last couple of weeks, I've got my Stream Deck working properly.
Ooh.
So I've kind of set up like a flat kind of template for every sim, but it uses the same kind of button icons and the same sort of controls.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like standardize it across every single sim, so that I know that when I hit the Stream Deck, it's like, yeah, I know exactly what I'm pushing and when.
Yeah. Use it like a button box.
Yep. It took me ages to work it out, but yeah, I figured it out eventually. And if you invest a little bit of time, it does seem to like help a lot. Top tip there.
Yeah. What I should really do is put stickers on the steering wheels as well. But because I'm doing a review with this particular wheel still, although I've kind of written most of it anyway, or I've got my ideas there. But I like leaving the stickers off, having the ability. You know, I don't like committing to those things too easily. It's different if it's just stuff that I've purchased myself. But when you review stuff,
that's the other thing.
Different.
It's like I'm thinking about putting like stickers on on the SimMagic wheel I'm using right now, but it's like I don't actually own it, so it's,
Yeah.
it's you've got to think about it. I'm sure it's fine, but
well,
yeah.
if you're reviewing it, stickers are part of the review, right? Because it's the sort of thing you do to a wheel that you're provided. So it is part of the review. But I'm like you, whereas I don't like to mess up the original. I like to keep it, as long as possible, I like to keep it clean. And then if I need to put stickers on, or if it gets to that point, then I would. But also with us, that's the other thing about assigning buttons to things on different games, across different games, and getting used to assignments. Because we're testing different wheels every so often, which is a great problem to have. You end up not really, you end up constantly switching. So you need to constantly remind yourself of what button's on which wheel, and change it all the time. Like that gets a bit. Whenever I jump in a game that I've not played in a while, the last time I played it could have been with a different wheel when I was testing something. So then I have to redo all the configurations again. So again, it's a good problem to have. Let's be fair.
Yeah, woe is me. I get to test lots of wheels.
Oh, yeah, trading paints. Good point. Tom, I haven't even opened trading... This is the thing with iRacing, right? If I'm playing regularly, I remember these things. I'll open trading paints now, and we'll see if it kicks in time. No traction livery on this, but we have a white and pink livery.
Oh, yeah. I've got a British GT Championship livery on my McLaren at the moment, so...
Very nice.
I don't know if there's any... Is there a traction livery for the McLaren? I think there's a grid finder livery, isn't there?
I think so. There is definitely a traction McLaren livery existing in some space somewhere. I just don't know what game it's on. I think it's ACC maybe. There's a really nice ACC traction
that's
McLaren
right, yeah.
livery.
That's it, yeah.
I would go and look. You guys, some of the members of the community have created some incredible traction liveries for us over the years in various different cars. We had a 488 Challenge livery, plenty of iRacing fixed cars as well, Mazda MX-5s, stuff like that on trading paints, and they look incredible. So thank you every time one of you guys makes a livery. It's awesome because we see it and it looks great. And if we remember to use it, or if we're racing with that particular car, then amazing. I don't know if there is one for the M4, so I've got my custom one from. I actually created that livery when I was doing the test with the active pedal. So it's got the Fanatec and the Simucube branding on it.
I use a Rocket SimSport livery for the BMW.
Oh, nice. That makes a lot of sense.
Rocket SimSport being the esports team myself and John have driven for. In fact, I actually used it in iRacing for the Nürburgring 24 Hours, like about 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a race that I did with Al Buncombe and Tom Ingram and Dan Handover. So that was cool. We were leading by like 2 minutes, and then
oh yeah,
someone binned it like during the night, so
easy done.
Sadly.
That's qualifying underway, by the way, so we're not in the same split, sadly. But we've got 6 minutes to get 2 hot laps in here. Let's just get the tyres warmed up slowly. The first lap's going to be a banker. It's not going to be that fast. The second lap is our push lap, really. But even then, it's not going to be fully optimal. And thinking about it now, in terms of live streams on Traction, I've done iRacing races plenty of times for videos in the past. That was close. I've never... I went to do the Indy 500 live stream recently, and that lasted 1 lap. But aside from that, this is possibly the first actual live stream of a iRacing race that I've done on the Traction channel. We used to have Dave doing a lot of iRacing live stuff and also video stuff. So, yeah, this is kind of cool.
I'm sure it'll go well.
Absolutely sure. Hey, if it doesn't go well, there are plenty more races on both iRacing and LMU, so we're good. I'm hoping to get in 2 of each today. Do an iRacing race, then 2 LMU races, and then another iRacing race. That's the plan at the moment, but let's just see. On to lap 1 then. So the tyres will not be fully warm, but we can feel the understeer compared to that practice session. Look at that. Straight off. Thankfully still legal.
I think it's taken me a long time to warm tyres up, generally.
Well, so that was one of the things they changed. They made it... It's a bit of a stiffer tyre construction, I believe. And the whole thing, the warm-up does last a bit longer and take a little bit more. But then they're a little bit... Once it actually heats in them, it tends to be a little bit more consistent, let's say. That's what I've picked up anyway, from what's been said. You can, of course, read all the update notes and patch notes on the TraxionGG website for all of the technical stuff. for me, it was also the fact that LMU and iRacing basically released a new updated GT3 tyre model that was significantly different for both on the same day. Just, it was great. Love the competition. Love the excitement of that.
Actually gives you a chance to properly back-to-back them as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was at Le Mans, so I couldn't even get on them until until recently. Right, on to the last lap then. We've got our banker in, 124. Let's see what we can do in the push lap without going too crazy, because we don't want to throw it all away. But you can just see the time differences, corner for corner. Didn't quite get the entrance there right. That's going to cost us a bit on both laps. Probably a couple of tenths gone easily. And wasn't quite getting certies right there. Love Brands Hatch GP, just using all of the additional areas of runoff. The elevation changes are awesome. It's just a fantastic circuit. It's going to be a mid-23 if we get the last corner okay. Not bad. See if we're somewhere. I reckon we're going to be 2/3 of the way down the grid based on the splits, but let's just see.
There's the flag. It's over.
P7 at the moment. That's not bad. I would take that. Let's see. Yeah, John, I think I'm gonna try and do fixed races as well, just to see, because it's easy to jump in. We're doing fixed on iRacing as well, and I've done a little bit of driving just to get a little bit of a feel, so I'm not jumping in completely blind. And it definitely feels like a lot of the setups had to be altered, but hopefully they're already better than they were when the update first dropped. Tell you what, I'm okay with that qualifying. We're 7th at the moment out of 20, so even if we drop down to 8th or 9th, if people are still doing laps, then we're top half, and I'll absolutely take it.
I'm towards the back.
What did you get down to in the end time wise? Did you get a good lap in?
Well, my optimal's 23.0, but that actual time was 24.6. So
okay, yeah. So you didn't get a good one in.
Yeah. No, like it just feels so slippy at the moment. So
yeah,
yeah, that might be for the best that I start at the back. And just kind of work my way forward.
Have some fun working your way through, exactly. So I am, P7 on the grid, 23.4. You can really feel enormously the difference. And to be fair, this was always the case in iRacing. There was always a tyre warm-up, and you could feel that difference. But it feels a little bit more, it feels like a safer distance now between really cold and lethal and them warming up. But it's like a consistent build-up of speed and grip, I would say. So like even on that last lap, it still clearly didn't feel as grippy as it did during the practice run when I'd done 3 or 4 laps, but it was so much better than the lap before. So it's interesting. Clearly you can turn the tires on and do like a 22.5 there, but we saw like low 21s in the practice session. So we know how fast times can be anyway.
Yeah, it just seems insane that like they can go like 2 seconds faster than my optimal time at the moment, but
yeah.
It's just like
like
everything. It's seat time and getting used to it, and then like something just clicks eventually, and you start finding speed. So
yeah, if you jumped in and we're right on the pace immediately with no pre-practice and no experience in the tire model and with a 2,000 or 1,800 I rating, it wouldn't make any sense.
yeah, there's a reason guys have got like 5,000 I rating.
Exactly. We've got something to chase though, something to strive toward. I'd like to think if I played iRacing more regularly and got into it, I would build that I rating up. But it's that's just not the situation that I'm in all the time. But it's always something to chase, which is good. And I think it usually puts me in a decent split. And I mean, judging by P7 out of 20 on the grid, that feels pretty good for an online race. So yeah, good start. Let's say for the tire model. Let's see how it is during a race, because this will be the first race on the tire model. What lap will the bottle occur? Asks Tom. It's 20-minute race, so I'm going to say lap 3. when I think there's more grip, and then I'm going to bottle it. That's when the bottle's going to occur.
1 lap to green.
When's Ross's
Line
bottle
up
going to
on the
occur?
right side. The estimated strength
green
of field
flag.
is 2052. Pit road is closed
So
right
I'm in
now.
a tricky position. I'm towards the back, but there's still like 5 cars behind me, so
Points a lot.
yeah, I'm very much in the danger zone. So
You're kind of in the middle of the pack by qualifying near the back.
yeah, and I don't know like what the experience level is
Waiting
of
on
the other
two
guys,
cars
so I
to
don't know
grid.
if they're going to be like
Waiting on the final
good
car to
racers,
grid.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Right, we've got
Not
a
that-
formation
not-
lap.
Oh, that's handy.
It's a 20-minute race as well, so hopefully this race gets underway soon. I'm trying to make the Le Mans Ultimate race at, I think it's 3 o'clock. That's the plan. And if we miss it, we'll do something else. That's absolutely fine. We'll do another Le Mans Ultimate race, but that's to keep to my original schedule. Then it's going to be pretty tight. So as soon as this race is over, I'm going to have to quickly jump out of the game and fire up LMU, and we'll be jumping in cold. But that's fine. That's what we do. Got a lovely Vodafone McLaren livery from 2008 on the Ferrari in front of me, ironically.
I've got a West McLaren, I think, ahead of me.
Very nice. One thing I do love, by the way, about iRacing fixed setups is that it's actually a fixed setup. Like, everyone's got the same fuel, everyone's got the same tires, there's no, you know, it's properly fixed setup. I think you can change some electronics.
I've just seen something. There's an incident behind me already on the formation lap.
Oh dear.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, I can change the electronics, the ABS and the TC, slightly. I'm not going to, because I'm not at that point where I'm going to, you know, I still feel like I need to learn it as it is.
Jetstar 18, car. Jetstar 18, car.
Is that a jug? Yeah, it's a proper Stein glass, Tom. Like a proper pint of water. Keep myself hydrated.
I thought brake dragging was banned in iRacing. Is that just for big events?
Well, I don't know if it's, like, natural brake dragging's okay, I guess. I think, is it not, like, more of a... I don't know. I know there was a rule that banned a form of brake dragging, but I didn't know if that was some sort of illegal form of it, or whether it's just, like, a natural brake drag. I mean, right now I'm kind of dragging my brakes, slightly, but I'm doing more of the accelerated brake thing.
ACC style. Where you had, like, red brakes towards the end of the formation
Well,
lap.
I don't actually know my brake temperatures. I'm not on the right screen, so...
Oh, incident ahead.
Can you get live brake temperatures?
Maybe?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Get ready, going green.
Anyway, we're going to go green here.
Experts.
Good luck, Ross. Good luck. This is
Good
online,
luck,
Chris.
Ross. Be ready.
This is online, so this is a ranked GT3 fixed race.
Green flag, green flag.
Didn't quite get a good jump, so we're already going to probably lose a spot here, but let's just see. No, we're fine. Oh, the McLaren's been spun behind me. That's a shame for them. They were playing it really safe into T1 to protect me, and then they ended up getting spun by someone behind, so that's a shame. Just braking too early. I've almost bottled it. Whew. Okay, cold tires. Watch the acceleration, Ross, because I've almost spun it.
Yeah. Yes, I'm hyper aware.
Yeah, so definitely still a tyre warm-up to in the race to really think about, even with a warm-up lap or formation lap.
You've got your tyre pressure and temperature data on your dash.
I don't think I do. I think I'm on the wrong page.
So once they go green, it's basically that's it. You're ready. Give it some jandal.
I've got the tyre pressure on the top left, but I don't know if I've got the temperatures, unless that is the temperature because it's green. Okay, we're gonna get stuck in now. There's a nice battle just up ahead. So let's see how this shapes up.
Car right.
Try and go around the outside.
Still there. Clear on the right.
Just careful on the throttle and the exits. This is why I've not been playing around with traction control and stuff yet, because it could throw your race away very early. Car's feeling really nice though, really liking the physics, liking the force feedback as well. Yellow flags. Ooh, bit of contact. Let's see if we can take advantage.
Car on your left. Keep to the right. Clear
There
on
we
the
go.
left.
That's one spot. Okay, back to I don't know how we lost a spot in that first lap. Maybe just my start, not expecting the cars to go when they did. I've been playing too much LMU, but we I think lost one spot there, and then we've just got one back. So we're P7 now.
Nice.
Tires finally coming in. No, we're using vanilla FFB, Chris, just because generally with FFB mods and stuff, I tend to be careful with having them too many installed because of the nature of what we do on Traction. We try all these different games and different experiences, and don't get me wrong, sometimes it's great to have like a modded FFB to make things feel better, but
There's an incident ahead.
generally
Car
because we're
ahead.
testing things authentically, we want to actually test the let's say the authentic settings. So we're not judging a game based on its mod rather than on the original author's stuff, if that makes sense. So for me at the moment, I'm using the original FFB, obviously with my own settings within the game and within Simucube software for the Simucube base I'm using. But I have heard there are so many great force feedback mods out there, and I know that one of them for iRacing is very popular. Same with overlays and stuff. I know a lot of people often request that I use Crew Chief and all these things, and because a lot of people do that, and that's great. And I would use them more if I was maybe
Car in P1,
not doing as many traction
just
videos,
set the
but
fastest lap.
I like to try and showcase games as they're made,
22.679. That was your
rather
fastest
than
lap of the
as they're
session.
modded to, if that makes sense. Not great through there, but good through the corner before. We've got another position because P3 went off.
My tyres are just coming in now.
Excellent. Cheers, Tom. I survived past lap 3, and Ross survived past the green flag.
Nice.
So head down now and try and get some pace out. Bit wide. Yeah, exactly,
Car
Robert.
in P1, just set the
It actually
fastest
feels
lap.
really good.
22.661. New
Done.
fastest lap
23-0 for me.
Nice. 23.6 so far. I'm in traffic, but
Just had an off track though for something that I felt like that was a bit harsh. We're 2.8 seconds off of P3, so things could still kick off in terms of battles and stuff. We've still got how long to go? 13.5 minutes to go in this race. And what I was going to say as well, guys, is I've gone into this obviously completely open-minded. I really like iRacing and I really like LMU. So I'm a big fan of both experiences at the moment, and also fully aware of the things that aren't so great, right? But my experience, or what I would say going in, was that generally speaking, if you ask me what I preferred in terms of the driving experience, I would say I preferred the feedback I got from LMU's force feedback. And the actual racing is so great on LMU, but it's also good on iRacing. I would say LMU would have edged it for racing and edged it for force feedback, but in terms of physics and authenticity, I would have said pretty close. Maybe iRacing gets it. Obviously, iRacing's doing this across so many more different cars and disciplines and tracks, and it's got a way more established ecosystem. So there, you know, that's not to say just because I would have said LMU edged it in terms of a driving experience doesn't mean that I think LMU's in any way like a better title, let's say. But iRacing often, like when I jump on it for the first time in a while, once I get through some of the scary bits with the tire model and stuff, or at least the previous tire model, then I begin to I can really enjoy it, And I have to say this is a really strong experience. Like iRacing is putting up a good showing, let's say, with this new tire model. Like I just feel this is a really nice, authentic feeling GT3 sim race against people of similar speed. I'm having to concentrate and focus, but the racing's been good. It's, the netcode's been perfect. All of these things, this experience right now is fantastic. So I'm really intrigued to see how it feels going back to back.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, even though I'm like well down.
And on this right now, I couldn't sit here and say, oh, right now I can feel that the force feedback is not as nice as LMU's force feedback. That I would be lying if I said that, because I just don't think that's true. Right now I'm thinking, oh, this force feedback feels really nice, and the physics in the car is feeling really nice. I actually feel the tyre underneath me more than I ever have before, I would say, as well. Like, there's a little bit more connection for me between me and the road right now than there normally has been in the past. Right, we're caught back up now for this P4 battle. The Merc's got past the Ferrari. I think the Merc's got strong pace. Hopefully I can keep with the Ferrari and battle him, but I think the Merc's probably going to drive away. Yeah, that's interesting, Scott. So we're actually working on a project at the moment to look into prototypes specifically, or when I say prototypes, I mean like hypercars, LMDHs, stuff like that. So do keep an eye on the channel for a video on that in the near future. We've started working on this now. But I'm basically going to be, and Ross is, I'm sure, going to be helping me with this. We're going to be having a think about all the different ways you can play or drive hypercars and LMDH cars across different sims and kind of compare some of the intricacies, the authenticity of them. And I already know that LMU, in terms of authentically replicating how hypercars work and how the battery systems work and the kind of virtual energy and all of that stuff, the hybrid systems, LMU is just so good in terms of authentically simulating that stuff, regardless of actual driving. Just realism from the objective standpoint, not a subjective standpoint. I know that iRacing has some fundamental things, like with the Ferrari 499P, that just isn't quite there, isn't quite realistic, but that doesn't mean it doesn't feel good. And that's the sort of thing I'm also obviously going to be trying while we go through this project. So I'll go in with a totally open mind, but yeah, I think for sure that's something that LMU does very well. And yeah, Scott, I would agree with that. The netcode for online racing is brilliant on LMU. However, in this race right now, I cannot say I've seen anything other than spot on in terms of the netcode for racing. Like, I feel like I can have a really good, close race with the cars around me, and I don't feel scared that we're going to have some sort of ghost collision. I might be wrong. We had plenty of ghost collisions in the past, but in this race right now, it doesn't feel or look like that's going to be the case. So let's wait and see. And LMU, you still have those moments, don't you, where it screen freezes or jumps and stuff like that. But yeah, the netcode for online racing is just so good. You can race super, super close. I just don't know if I've got an advantage over this Ferrari. I think we're just about the same. So, I'll keep the pressure on. We're half a second behind. I'm doing 22s now.
Nice. I'm down to low 23s. So that's a big adjustment.
Yeah. So I've done 23.1, 23.0, 22.9, and 22.8. So we're getting there. Consistency's there, which is great. That means I'm getting on with the car. Oh, there you go. There's a step of oversteer. Look at that. That, I think, would have killed me on the old tyre model, or would have had a higher chance of killing me. But I felt that all the way through. Yes, I slid all the way, but I caught it, maybe lost half a second. That could have really, yeah, that could have been a defining difference, right? We've lost our consistent momentum, unfortunately, which I was just banging on about, so I need to try and get that back. But main thing is I didn't spin, didn't hit anything. And look, I'm actually driving, and the car is not now lethal for the next half a lap. I'm actually feeling already like I'm back in the zone, which is not what used to happen.
I just saw some excellent netcode there. A car hit a curb and like did a flip.
Oh.
And then it's went back to normal, so there's obviously something still there.
Yeah. Well, the Ferrari in front of me is making some small mistakes trying to get me here. It's running wide, going off track, touching the grass. But obviously I made my mistake on that lap too, so I think we're both pushing. It was still a 23-1 with the slide. Oh, that's too deep. That's okay. Got to be slightly gentle on the throttle and exits, which I do not mind at all. Yellow flag. Oh, it's yellow and red flag, so that's the debris being brought back onto the circuit. Yeah, it's really nice. I'm on rails right now. GTX Forza, do I have any thoughts on Project Motor Racing? I have plenty of thoughts on Project Motor Racing, but all of them are with caveats of, like, I just want to see more. Like, we just need to try it again with a proper setup where we know the force feedback and we know the wheels and we know that it's closer to a release date. I've got plenty of thoughts on it, good and bad. And we will, I'll see if I can go into that at some point. I think I'll probably give it a minute, because I think if I get too deep into that, I'm probably just going to bin it. But I will give it a go. Le Mans Ultimates in the chat, like, this is the wrong sim, yeah. Some may say, but iRacing aren't here to defend themselves. You can say whatever you want about your sim, and we need iRacing in the chat. Oh, look at that! I put two wheels over the curb for the Ferrari in front. Done a 22.8 now as well. But yeah, let's bring in someone from iRacing, and then let's have a fight in the chat. Let's have a ding dong battle, and you guys can argue why your tire model is better.
We'll offer a subscription service for the privilege of witnessing this fight.
Yeah. And whoever wins has to give out 5 channel memberships to random subscribers. That's fair, I think.
Sign me up. I've got a Porsche right up my chuff. Oh no, he's got off. Excellent. I can relax.
Oh, okay, this is getting dicey in front, and that is a battle for P3. So this is it. We've got a 4-car battle for P3 now. And I'm in the perfect spot. Deep breaths.
Right side. Clear on the right. Left side. Still there. Still there.
Right, we've got the Ferrari, we've got the Merc.
Nice.
One more to go.
Still there.
But these guys are not slow.
Clear. You're in 4th position.
Nice. Got it through paddock hill. That Ferrari in front is all over the place. There's a chance of a podium here, guys, which I did not expect going into this, I'll be honest.
I've no idea where I am.
Just in the pack.
Yeah, somewhere.
Are you still enjoying it? Is it a good race?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I'm just sort of chasing this little group. I think they're just a bit quicker, but I'm just sort of hanging on because they're battling.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to hope for some scraps to pick up later.
Excellent. That's basically what I've just done. There was a 3-car scrap in front of me, and then as soon as they started fighting, I just took 2 of them. So that's his P4. But yeah. Got Le Mans Ultimate saying, no fighting, hate here, just peace and love. Absolutely. Mutual respect. Did you just boo? It cut out.
Let's get some controversy.
I'm sorry, but this is why, like, this is also what I was saying at the start, right? Like, don't get me wrong, we're going into this and I'm going to be doing some comparisons and how I feel about things. And ultimately, I love both of these games. Like, I love both of these sims for different reasons. And they both have things that I'm sure they would like to improve, and equally things that they're very proud of. Just having to do a defensive job in this Merc, because I do think the Merc's faster. It's the Ferrari behind that I think I'm okay with, and then maybe the Ferrari in front. But that Merc, since the start of the race, I think he's got 2 or 3 tenths on me.
Sorry, I mean accident. Oh, what a shame.
What was that?
Someone went off ahead of me. Well, they got punted off. So I just went, way!
Ah, I think you cut out.
And then I said, oh dear.
Oh
what a
no,
shame.
yeah, gutted. Really, really feel for them.
Weirdly, I'm actually on the same pace as the leader right now. So I wonder if I'm just like looking after the tyre a little bit better.
One thing I can credit this with as well, and this is maybe not a credit to the new tyre model, but it's maybe just a credit to iRacing in general, because it does happen sometimes, but I find I can be super, super consistent on iRacing. Like, once I'm in a zone, once I pick my marks, I'm not saying I'm as fast as I could be, clearly not, but once I get comfortable and I pick my lines and I pick my spots, I can find a real rhythm and consistency that happens in real life when you find your zone, but is not necessarily the case in all games.
Left side.
True.
Clear.
Oh, doing a big defensive display on this Merc, but I think they're going to get me.
Right side.
Couldn't quite block there.
Still there. Hold your line. Still there. Clear on the right.
Focus on the exit, John.
Car on your left.
Oh, he's just
Clear on the left.
tried to do a dummy and he sent me. Oh dear. That's a shame.
You've been punted off?
Yeah, I got punted off. I was defending hard, but he went for the dummy, like where he went to the right, then went back to the inside, and then unfortunately I was still there and he missed his braking point. I get the attempted move, I really do, because I actually did that the other day on someone and nailed it. It was perfect, but the problem is I knew he was going to try it, so I didn't leave a cars width on the inside. I kept my line, and I made sure that I didn't have a cars width for him to try a dummy, but he tried it anyway, and then missed the braking point slightly, and then there wasn't the space. So you could say I could have avoided it by defending less hard, but I didn't do anything unfair, I don't think. So hey, it is what it is.
Luck.
Anyway, we were having a great race there, and that doesn't change anything. Yeah. It was unlucky. Listen, I'm not going to hate on the driver for that. Like,
the car behind is closing on you.
yeah, I don't think it was deliberate. I don't think it was intentional. I think it was a bold move, and I was defending hard, and they just misjudged it. So, listen, it's okay. It happens. I haven't seen the other incidents, but yeah.
Last lap now.
Same for me. P14 now.
Oh well, at least you're still going.
Yep, that's very true. John says he's more excited about the AMG than the Valkyrie. I'm assuming that's for LMU. I totally get it, because the thing about the Valkyrie is obviously everyone's excited about the Valkyrie. I'm super excited about it because it sounds amazing, it looks amazing, it's just a really cool car, and we've not seen it in The Sims before. But what everyone said about the Valkyrie in terms of the actual drivers of the real car, and they've all said that the V12, when you're actually driving it, doesn't sound as intense. You're not aware of the crazy sound that you get from the outside. And obviously I tried the Valkyrie at Le Mans as well, and I think that's they've tried to authentically recreate the actual sounds without going too far with the they're not faking it to make it sound incredible when it doesn't. And I think when you're on board with that car, it does sound great, but it does not sound as screaming V12y as the external sounds. So I think a lot of people are going to be excited about the Valkyrie, but when the racing starts, if the Valkyrie's not that competitive in hypercar, and Yeah, well, by the way, guys, that's an apology. He said, "I'm so sorry, man. I totally misjudged it." So there you go. So I didn't think it was intentional from Matty. Listen, we all make mistakes. Like I've done things like that before by accident. It happens. And that was really nice of him to apologise. So yeah, I think if the Valkyrie's not that competitive and it doesn't sound that great, in the cockpit, people might be overexcited. What's the word I'm looking for? Overexcited for it. I can't remember how to private message someone on iRacing. Is it at? Do you remember, Ross, how to actually private message someone?
I don't think I've ever done that before. So after passing a few cars, I finished 11th, weirdly. I thought it was going to be much higher than that. Like, it was just a simple race. Like, there was nothing... I never did, like, any big mistakes or anything, so...
Yeah.
That's slightly disappointing.
So I'm really happy with that. So the pace-wise, I was 23.0 from lap 4 onwards, 23.0, 22.8, 23.1, 22.9, 22.8, 23.1, 22.8, and then it was 23.7 when I was defending, 23.0, 23.0, 40.2, so I lost 17 seconds, and then 23.0. So if you take out the my last 3 laps, right, if you take out the 40.2 when I got spun, were 23.076, 23.075, and 23.075.
That's consistent.
Yeah, I mean, that's the last... You guys, I've just changed the camera so you can see it, but the last 3 of the last 4 laps, the only one being the spin, were within 1,000th of a second. And before that, it was like constantly within a couple of tenths. So really, really consistent.
What was your fastest lap?
22.873.
Mine was 23.208, and I set it on the final lap.
Okay, yeah, so you were getting there as well.
Slowly.
Yeah. Hey, great race. Oh, thanks, Oz. Yeah, so Ozley, of course, knows how to private message someone on iRacing. And I should have right-clicked on the name, but I already sent a public message, so it's all good. Yeah, that was great. Sorry, I know I was trying to answer some questions, then got distracted, then was responding to messages, and I was all over the place, as usual. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that race. That was good. And Ross going for a P.
No, I've got my B license.
Oh, I thought you said you're going for a P, not you've got your B.
I've got my P license. I am licensed to urinate whenever I want. Excellent.
Actually, no, it's not excellent. Well done. Well done for getting B. Congratulations. How does it feel?
It feels much like when I had a C license, to be honest.
Not hugely different, no.
No, nothing's really changed.
Right, we're launching LMU because I'm going to try and get into a race at 3 o'clock, and then we can talk about tyre models and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to look at some of the comments now. We have a question about when are we getting ELMS from John. So Silverstone, Paul Ricard in Barcelona. We don't know yet, but from when we spoke to Stephen recently, he said we could. I'm pretty sure we're expecting it this year at some point. He's hoping to have it later this year. We'll have to wait and see. But you can check out our... you've seen this already, John, but if you check out our interview with Stephen recently, he talks a bit about ELMS. Yeah, the whole IMSA schedule, I agree, Scott, would be incredible. Depends on the licensing and things like that. Just going to get LMU up on the screen. Are you jumping in LMU as well, Ross? Or are you not doing the quick switch?
I think I'm running out of time for LMU right now.
Fair.
I might be able to join like the next race you do in LMU.
Yeah. So I'm doing the GT3 fixed race in 3 minutes, so my timing's worked well, and I'm probably going to do the other GT3 fixed race that is after that. So we're going to do 2 back to back. So the other one I think is 40 minutes later. I think it's like yeah. So 3 o'clock is what I'm doing now. Then I'm going to do the 3:40 GT3 race, and then if I can jump back into iRacing for another Brands race at 4:15, that's my plan for 4 races. So 2 of each.
And where's the GT3 fixed race in the LMU?
It's just as soon as you go on daily races, it's the first one. It's the first bronze race.
Yeah. Sorry. What's track?
Oh, sorry. Bahrain Outer Circuit. So it's like the
easiest one.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah. It doesn't take long to learn, thankfully. And also, scarily enough, there's 370 people registered, and I'm the highest ranked. So no pressure to gain ratings. Oh well. LMU, guys.
Yeah, I've never
It's time for
really.
LMU.
I've only done like 3 races online with the LMU. And one of them I had like some technical issues. Another one I got like a penalty for going over the virtual energy usage. And then another one I won. So
Hey,
I've got a 33% hit rate.
that's good. I have a far less than 33% hit rate. I have a 33% contact rate, probably. I've been actually, since I stopped focusing just on like, nothing but going for golds and being really safe and getting the gold safety ranking. I've just been trying to relax and race, and there's been some contact here and there, but it's been so good. Like, it's just been so fun. Driving on Le Mans Ultimate relaxed and not panicking or worrying about ratings. It's just, every race is fun. So hopefully more of that just now as well. We've got 1 minute till we can join the session, guys, so I'm not going to jump into practice. Also, hello to Dave, who's joining us. How are you getting on? I saw that you did a video on LMU protests and stewarding. Now, I've not watched the video yet, but I'm assuming that you protested an incident where someone was driving badly on LMU and they fixed it or resolved it, right? So that's a good sign. Yeah, 100% Mark. Hey, welcome back to the stream as well. How are you getting on? I think, so yeah, I talked about it a lot during that race. We've done one race in iRacing. We're going to go back on. I'm really happy with my first impressions of the new tyre model. They feel a bit more consistent. They feel a bit less lethal, but you still have to manage them. You still can't just nail the throttle and expect not to lose the rear, especially when the tyres are colder. I almost lost it on lap 1. Midway through the race, I turned in a bit quick, and the car was a little bit unsettled down the hill through Graham Hill. And it actually almost spun me, but it was like, it wasn't a sudden snap where I could not save it. It was like I could feel it going. It still was a pretty substantial slide, and if I wasn't really paying attention, I would have easily lost it. But I did catch it in the end, and it didn't then take me 2 laps to cool the tyres down. I was like right back on it. Next lap was good. Same after the spin at the end. When I got hit up the rear and recovered from that spin, I, on the next 2 laps after that, set exactly the same time as I'd done the lap before it. So clearly the way the tyres respond live during a race, it's a little bit more considered, it's a little bit more consistent, it's a little bit less extreme, and it just felt, the whole thing, compared to the last time I raced GT3 on iRacing, which was around, I think, Laguna Seca a couple of months ago, I think that overall there was a noticeable improvement on, for me, the feeling of authenticity as I was driving. So what do I mean by that? I've never actually experienced, as I said, GT3 racing in real life, so I cannot say it feels like a GT3 car exactly, or it doesn't. But the feeling of what I would expect from authenticity, and the authenticity of how a car behaves on a racetrack, it felt more natural. It felt less like I was trying to drive within a very specific window, and if I went a little bit beyond or below that window, the car would be weird. And beforehand, I felt like I was constantly aiming for that perfect kind of middle ground. Whereas today, I felt like I could drive, still obviously aiming for the perfect compromise, but it didn't feel like there were such hard borders to that perfect compromise. It sort of just felt like the whole thing was flowing and alive and natural, and I could just do natural things and be smooth, and it would respond well. When I pushed on, it would give me the grip, but then occasionally it would bite me for trying too hard. Yeah. So very, very positive. But now it's time for LMU, and it's time for the new tyre physics, which... Ooh, I've heard some mixed feelings about. I think, based on the interweb and Discord and forums and YouTube videos, it sounds as if there are a lot of mixed feelings about the changes to the GT3 tyre model. It sounds like it's easier to spin. It sounds like it's better at low speed. It sounds as if it's just transformed the cars. So, yeah, I'm intrigued to talk about it a little bit. I've driven a few laps already just to make sure it worked, so I have a very brief idea. But yeah, I'm seeing in the chat as well. Oh, sorry, Ross. One more thing. I'm seeing in the chat that the BMW, according to Le Mans Ultimate, doesn't have the new setups yet. So let's see if it kills me or not.
So I recently tried the Lexus and the Lamborghini because it was the newest DLC. I really enjoyed the Lexus. I thought the Lamborghini was, like, because it's mid-engine, it's like a different way of driving completely.
Yeah.
So I thought that was quite oversteery, but they've since made some like updates after that, so I have not tried it since then.
Interesting. I'm yet to sample the new stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. Right, here we go then. Top split, split 1 of 23. Guys, how amazing is that? 23 splits of Le Mans Ultimate right now, and it's 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Like, that is brilliant. That's just brilliant. It means that there are hundreds and hundreds of people playing this game at the same time, and it means that all of them are getting good races, and you will be with people of a similar skill level. So, it's brilliant. So in terms of setups, it's a fixed setup race. We are on a fixed setup. Apparently, they haven't been updated yet. So that's something. So this BMW should still have, based on what you're saying in the chat, LMU, this setup is still needing a little bit of adaptation potentially. But we're obviously we're being fair here, and we're judging it on exactly what it is right now. There's no point in me going out in practice because we're going to go straight to qualifying. Put in the appropriate fuel numbers, 17%. Let's go with that. That should get us through our 5-minute qualifying. Oh, you like it, Dave? Interesting. I know that also, let's be clear as well, the noise around the update being very difficult and the setups all being wrong and the bugs and glitches, let's be totally fair. That was when the update first launched, and obviously the team have been working very hard to fix that. So I know that a lot of those things have already been readjusted and fixed. It's a small team, so these things happen. And I know that there's a lot of, I mean, just from biased personal experience, but I know the guys involved in this game, or the ones I know well, they will have been working their butts off to try and make this as good as possible. That doesn't obviously forgive things that aren't very good, but you know what I mean. I know that there's a lot of effort and energy being put into making this good. As I'm sure is the case, of course, with all of these big major sims that we talk about. Huge amounts of it, and you have to have that kind of passion for racing games and game development to be involved in these sorts of projects. Right, LMU time to talk about these new tyres compared to iRacing. Very positive for iRacing. Let's see how we feel on LMU. So we will need a bit of tyre warm-up. I think we had, did we have tyre warmers in GT3? I think we may have done. They're blue at the moment, but they don't feel fully warm.
I think that they do have tyre warmers, but I think they turned like the starting temperature down, so it's going to be lower anyway.
That makes sense, yeah.
But yeah, LMU, I don't think you get tyre warmers.
Well, you get tyre warmers, but they're not super warm, right? Yeah, and yeah, beginners has warmers. Yeah, that's what I thought. So the beginner GT3 races, they've turned tyre warmers on, but they're not. Right. It's not super warm. I think it's like not hot. Let's say. Right. I mean, it's going to take a lap to get the proper tyres to up to the proper temperature, and then we've only got 3.5 minutes. But it's a shorter qualifying session than iRacing, but you get more laps, which is really interesting. It's a shorter lap as well, but not by much. Now, I haven't changed the ABS, I haven't changed the brake bias yet, but one thing I noticed from my few laps getting set up with this yesterday was actually that the braking feels remarkably different. Like, I've noticed a huge difference in the feel that you have of the car under braking. Like, when I tried dialing the brake bias rearwards and took down the ABS, I could really, really feel the car kind of getting unsettled at the rear and how that was affecting my braking performance as well. And it was more than I've ever experienced before in LMU, so that was a clear difference for me, aside from the actual tyres themselves. Now we're going to take down some of these traction control settings, not go quite as low as we would have gone back in the day. Actually, we will try going lower just to see, and we will go rearwards slightly. Just do a few small tweaks that you can see down the bottom. I've obviously got ABS on these. Oh, there you go. Straight away I'm losing the rear. Obviously we've got ABS. I've also got the active pedal, so I can feel a little bit more of what the car is doing thanks to the pedal. Yeah, so that makes sense. The ABS changing makes complete sense. But we're gonna have to get used to it, because obviously this is just first experience. And there you go, straight away. That felt so different to what it did before. And then I'm getting a bit too much oversteer on the exit, so I can't just. What I'm feeling is I can't just use the over rotation to my advantage like I could back in, before. Like, beforehand I was putting the foot down out of the corner and I was actually using the acceleration and the rotation it brought to kind of give me a controlled corner exit that's faster because I'm getting more rotation. Now, if I just dump the throttle with lower traction control, instead of it does give me more rotation, but it gives me too much rotation and it's snappy. So I can't use it to give me controlled rotation. I can only use it to give me like unwanted rotation, if that makes sense. So that feels a lot more realistic. It's maybe not as satisfying as a driver. Maybe it doesn't make you quite as happy, but it's more realistic. Right. We need to try and actually set a good lap time as well here, so we've only got 1:20 left. Hopefully we'll get 2 laps in. Yeah, so if we change ABS to like balanced, right? Let's go with 6. Let's just see what happens. Experimentation here. Okay, I like that. That's good. That made a big difference. You can see I got the nose and no bother. So, I mean, that almost felt like what used to be, you know, maybe a brake bias change. But it's really letting me get the car in. Tires up to temperature now. Cannot get any rotation through this fast chicane. Need to work on the new driving strategy to actually get the rotation. We'll see if the kind of regular trail braking into the corner still works in the same way, but I feel like I'm having to loosen off a little bit more. This is a better lap. It's a bit more representative. We're going to jump up to P7. I have got no real complaints about this at the moment. Okay, that's cool. I think you really need to spend a bit of time trying all these different settings in a practice session and finding out what works best for you as an individual. Compromised all the way through there, sadly, so this lap's probably going to be useless. But if I can get more of an attacking line through the chicane, as you can see, look, we've saved a bit of the lap, and we're instantly into the green. We're 49 rearwards is actually okay. Yeah, we've got another 10th. Excellent. Right, so 5, 5, 6, 51, and 6. Feels pretty good. It's amazing how much of a difference those small electronic changes actually made. But I didn't spin there. I didn't have any... You know, I guess maybe an old esports setup with very low traction control, I would have probably spun a lot easier. But that felt fine. That felt good. And we're starting from P8 in this first split out of 20 cars. So once again, just like iRacing, we're right in the middle, just above the midpoint. But honestly, given that we've just jumped in there, I'm perfectly happy with that. Interesting, Dave. Okay. Very interesting. How much is it different now to what it was when the update first landed during Le Mans week? Don't know how much fuel to take. We'll just take 49%. I'm not going to start comparing too much to like iRacing until we actually get into a race and start, because I've only done like, what, 3-4 laps there, one little run on the tyres. Oh, I didn't take new tyres. Can I go back and do it? I don't know if I can now. No! I didn't take new tyres. That's a thing, isn't it? So I think I'm starting this race. Oh, you can? Okay, well, too late anyway. So I could have gone back to the pits there, changed it, and come back out. But I think I'm not on new tyres. I'm on my qualifying tyres, which is a shame. Yeah, too late. It's all good. Has that always been the case? Or is that new? Because I never used to do that. I never used to change the tyres. I thought it did it automatically. Yeah, so that is new. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh well, so we're giving ourselves a bit of a disadvantage here, but it's fine. We've got 2 races, hopefully. I'll get used to it, don't worry, John. I actually knew that as well. I knew that because I'd seen it somewhere, and I just forgot in that moment because I was too preoccupied with everything else. Just making sure I know my speed limiter button. Right, let's see how the race is, and then we'll come back with some analysis.
Good luck.
Green flag, green flag.
Hopefully I'll be able to jump in for the next one. But again, like, I won't be in the same split as you because...
Yeah, it's driver rating based.
Yeah, your safety rating and stuff like that is so much higher.
I don't think it's safety rating, I think it's just driver rating.
DR.
Safety rating just unlocks you the series, but we're racing in the bronze series, so that's fine. Okay, through the first hairpin, and netcode was perfect. Great close action, but the radar work's a treat, which you don't have on iRacing, of course. Less authentic, but...
Yeah. Car on your right.
You have a spotter instead, but that does work, to be fair. Oh. I turned in a tiny bit too much. It's costing me 2 or 3 positions. That was kind of my bad. Oh, spinners around me. Let's just take the shortcut. Yeah, so that was... I turned in... I was trying to go too wide through that left-hander, hoping I could hang on to the outside, and it was a bit silly of me. I think I misjudged how much room I would have had to have left to go through there safely, and it was just a bad decision. So I should have backed out and then gone for like the undercut or the switchback, and I would have lost 1 spot. Instead, I lost 4 spots trying to defend one that I could have probably not defended. So hey, that's fine. And we survived all the spins through the chicane there, and we've got yellow damage, but nothing too bad. Let's try and catch this battle up in front. I'm definitely feeling more force feedback at the low speed, which was one of the things of the update there. Just to give you a little bit more sensation through the force feedback. And the one thing I can say very early on is, like, they're obviously 2 great sims, iRacing, LMU, but they do feel very different. Like, you know, if you were to blind jump in one of these, if the graphics were exactly the same, you would very, very easily be able to tell which was which, in my opinion. Like, there's clear differences. I think, in terms of force feedback, it feels like there's a bit more detail still in LMU, but iRacing's is very, very pleasant, and I think it's the most pleasant it's ever been in GT3 with this update.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I don't actually know if right now in this state with the 2 of them, having not driven enough LMU yet to give a fair reflection, but I don't know if I'm preferring how I feel here in LMU with the force feedback to iRacing. I still think there's more coming through, there's more detail I'm being told about, and it feels a little bit more like... yeah, well, I don't know what the word is, but I guess detail kind of covers it, right? It feels like there's more information, but it doesn't feel more pleasurable or enjoyable. iRacing was still giving me enough information. I do, of course, have different profiles on my wheel for both of the games. I did switch them between before the racing, so those profiles are optimized for each game because if you try and play LMU with profiles that you've made for like a set of Corsa, for instance, you can really notice that it doesn't feel quite right, and vice versa. So there's a bit of fine-tuning to be done in software, but I've got this to the way where I like it in LMU. Right, we're back up to that battle now for P7. Colours are looking very good, I agree. This is like a kind of evening into night race. and it's looking stunning. McLaren off behind me. You've got to be more careful now through that first hairpin than you used to be. Like, there's the braking is obviously different, it's harder. The turn-in, there's more feeling in terms of the force feedback, but you've got to be more careful on how you power up on the exit and what the angle is. You can't, as I say, use the acceleration to your advantage in the same way. You've got to use it in a sensible, realistic way. So you use it when you can use it, not as soon as you possibly can get away with. So it's just a bit different. And again, it's not a bad thing. It's possibly less, like, easy, which makes it, you can argue, is less instant enjoyment. But that, I mean, I don't, that's absolutely fine. If it's more authentic, I get enjoyment from authenticity as well. You know, you could say, I'll give this car F1 downforce and it'll feel nice for a few laps because you'll have all the grip. That doesn't mean it's better, right? I could not take advantage of that run I had through the chicane. Just was too close to the two in front, unfortunately. That Lambo's got the legs, just. I'm down the inside, so he can't really block me, so let's see what happens. Didn't want to go for a late lunge either with two cars right in front of me, so we'll settle in. The steering is so alive here, though. Like, I can really, really feel all of the bumps in the car underneath me in extreme detail. And I can almost, like, every time I hit the brakes, I can feel the ABS rumble hugely. I can feel every bit of the tyre working. I'm getting frustrated, I think. I'm wanting the car to perform better. I'm wanting to get a little bit more bite on the front end that I might have got in the past, and that will just be muscle memory. It's because I'm used to having that little bit of extra bite, that little bit more grip on exit, that little bit more grip on entry with the front. The BMW was always a bit more of a neutral car. It was never super over-rotatey. It was kind of a little bit safe. So obviously then that's just been, I guess, amplified even more so, right? So it'd be interesting to try something like the Lambo. 100%, Dave. 100%.
Time 1:14.23.
Sounds are great. I think LMU sounds are probably edge it, but I had no complaints really about the iRacing sounds while I was in the car. It was a really clean engine sound. I just think LMU's got great detail, and also in terms of the hearing other cars around you, LMU is just second to none. Like, you get the atmosphere sound of LMU is sensational. But they both sound good. Oh, getting a bit dicey up in front. That's just poor driving. Didn't need to make that contact there. It's given me two positions, but I kind of feel for the car that got spun there. I didn't think that was... I would need to watch it again to see who closed the door on who and all that kind of stuff, but initial reaction was it just felt like a little bit of a stick in the nose where it didn't belong, in a corner that's a braking zone, not an overtaking spot. P7. I might have to defend the inside here.
40.48.
That's fine. Close the door. Nice. Okay, P7. Yeah, I'm excited to try the Lambo, Dave, for the sound. Really cool, though, to see this track in this different light. Like, I've raced around here online quite a few times now, and it's never looked this cool. Normally, it's just in daylight. And normally, I am not, when it comes to sim racing, I am not a fan of, like, overusing nighttime just because you can. I like to be able to see well. And night racing is special in real life, but in sim racing, I'm not that big a fan of it unless it's a 24-hour race. However, this is perfect, because you can still see everything brilliantly, but it just looks pretty. It's not affecting my apexes or driving ability. Yeah, 100%. Let's see if this Ferrari goes for a dive. I feel like he's quite aggressive in terms of wanting to get the moves done. But I don't want to be scared into braking too late just because I'm scared of getting taken out, because that's just giving in to pressure. So I'm going to try and be sensible. Yeah, 24 hours of Spa tomorrow. Exciting stuff. WRC Greece started yesterday as well. You've got, obviously, F1, F2, Spielberg, lots of good racing on this weekend. The MotoGP too. I think Marc Marquez might have hurt himself in practice, which is not good for him. Good for excitement in the championship battle. Oh, I wish I had my new tyres now.
Lap 1:30.74.
13.7, so we're all doing very similar lap times. There you go. Slight more confidence with the throttle there and kind of controlling the slide on the rear on the way out the corner, but it didn't feel like it helped me. It didn't feel like I gained time from doing that. It just felt like I spun up the rears and added a bit of unnecessary heat. It's kind of weird because in some ways it's kind of gone, you could argue, the opposite direction to iRacing. Like iRacing have gone from being a bit too kind of, let's say, kind of snappy and risky, and they've kind of chilled out a little bit and made it a little bit more kind of consistent and easier to manage, whereas this has kind of gone the other direction, but I can't say I'm not managing it. Like when it steps out, I can save it. It's just not quite as, I just can't be as aggressive, and I don't get any lap time from being aggressive, whereas back in, before the update, I could have driven more aggressive to haul some more lap time out of it. It's just going to be me versus this Ferrari now to the end, I think. Oh, that's too deep. Poor by me. Netcode once again. I've not seen anything other than perfection. But to be fair, I was almost that in iRacing. I think there was some slightly strange stuff over a curb, and Ross obviously experienced some. But I didn't see anything weird. And it's the same on LMU, so that's good for both. But you could just have such good close racing on this game. Maybe we should try playing around with some settings. So I've got 555 at the moment with the traction control. If anyone's got any suggestions for the BMW, I'm happy to try stuff. ABS, brake bias, kind of just picked something that felt good and went with it. Aaron, yeah, if I've got the time, I can, yeah. I will try a more oversteery ABS, actually, just to see if it's, because back in the day, 3 would have been too low, you would have been locking up too easily. Now I can feel the rear kind of working to be loose on the under braking, which I couldn't feel as much before, so I already feel like that's changed, but maybe actually it'll be less lethal at those very low numbers. So let's give that a go. Let's just do it. Let's try 3, so oversteer setting for ABS. We'll leave the brake bias as it is. I don't know if you need to move the brake bias in line with the ABS. Like, do you need to match it, or do you need to kind of almost do the reverse? So I'm going to probably lose a bit of speed here whilst I get the hang of the feeling, but it's okay because we're just experimenting. Don't mind having a battle with this Ferrari. Yeah, Aaron, if we get time, as I say, we will, yeah. We will have a quick look. I might even drive the Lambo in the next race, just to try it. Obviously, doing this is a bit of a risk, having a battle when I'm just learning a new braking setting, but we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah. Wow, you can really feel... Don't turn in too much. That's too much. Yeah, it did not leave me a width there on the inside whatsoever. You could really feel, though, the back chirping on the braking. It was like... It was started almost fishtailing, so... That'll be the ABS at 3. Let's see what happens going into this corner. First time where I'm not in a battle, so I'll just commit to the braking and see what happens. I don't know if side drafting works. See, I'm missing. That's twice now I've missed the braking point for the last corner, which I wasn't doing before I changed that setting. So maybe I need to brake a bit earlier, but we'll get rotation. That would make sense if it's putting more emphasis on the rear. Not got a massive gap to the 3 behind me here battling like crazy, so I've got to be slightly careful with how much time I lose. Adam, I think that part of these changes have made it more difficult to go lower traction control, right? It's kind of fundamentally now it's easier to lose the car because you've not got quite that same level of, I guess, unnatural grip, let's say, or using the slip angle but still having the grip. Whereas now it's a bit more like what you'd say is authentic. So running lower traction control for people that have gotten so comfortable with having a little bit too much grip, suddenly now it's causing issues. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think not being able to run a super low traction control setting doesn't mean it's bad if it's the same for everyone, right? As long as it's like, what you want is to be running realistic levels of traction control that pros would run, and that working well if you can get the most out of it. And obviously everyone's different, every setup's different, so some setups might suit lower, some setups might suit more, and all that stuff as well. Yeah, I'm excited to try the Lambo because it's unstable. We'll see how many times I spin. Okay, yeah, really. I can feel the difference with the ABS quite substantially now on 3. I feel like I'm having to brake a bit earlier and using a slightly different braking technique, trailing it to a different level. But I'm not quite feeling the benefits of it yet. Because I'm more focused on what I'm doing differently in the braking zone. I'm not quite able to kind of experience the more pointy side. Our lap times now are looking not great, but not terrible. And once again, that corner I'm missing every time. We'll try lower control and cut, but we'll go up on slip angle. Let's just see what happens there. And we'll go slightly more forward on the brake bias again, now that we've got the ABS to give us the rotation. Let's see how that feels. I'll try not to spin the car. That was alright. Oh, drive through for the Ferrari in front. So we're going to get that position back. Perfect. Oh, there you go. Okay, instant difference there with the traction being down 1 further, even though the slip angle's higher. So a bit more of a pronounced difference from just 1 or 2, well, yeah, 2 individual settings that were both down by 1. Still can't quite make the apex there that I was making before. I think the LMU circuits change on a Tuesday. Is that right? Look, we've got Lemon Ultimate in the chat. If you're listening, I think it's... I can't remember if it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I think it's a Tuesday that they change over, but obviously it's because of time zones and stuff. It's overnight in some places and it's in the morning in other places. So in the UK, I think it's a Tuesday morning, but depending on where you are in the world, that's either very early Tuesday morning or later. Yeah. So this is day 4 of LMGT3 fixed at Bahrain Outer. Yeah, it's requiring more skill to be better. I'm having to concentrate. Hey Terj, how's it going? Thank you very much. No pit stop dramas for me today. I'm not indecisive because I'm picking races that don't require pit stops. Final lap then. Final lap. It's going to be so touch and go as to whether we make all these race slots, these time slots. It's going to be, yeah, 35 minutes to do a race. So I think from the sign up. So it's going to be, it's going to be so touch and go for the next iRacing event. I might sign up early if I can. So I think you can sign up half an hour early for iRacing. So it's going to be just too late for me to do it. Unless I sign up when I'm gridding for LMU. That's maybe the way to go. A bit sketchy, but that might be the way to do it. And I might just pick a Lambo for the LMU race just to try it. Those of you who've been trying, because I'm very aware that the BMW, as was said by Le Mans Ultimate in the chat, the BMW hasn't had refinements made over the default setups yet. But I'm excited to see if the Lambo is as deadly as everyone's saying it is. Okay, race over. It wasn't the most exciting race that we've had. I didn't enjoy it as much as the iRacing race. I didn't feel as competitive. I didn't feel as on top of things. But there were still some good battles in there. I think the driving was a bit, I don't know, it was a bit aggressive, let's say, some of the driving that I witnessed. But hey, P7. We'll lose some nice driver rating for that, which will put us in put us in our place. 12.8 fastest lap from Sergey, so good pace in the Lamborghini. We've got a BMW second, so the BMW is not slow. And yeah. That's it. First race for me of the new tyre model. And my impression is, that's going to take a little bit of getting used to. And I'm going to have to learn how to be fast again. I'm going to have to, I think, dial back my aggression a little bit. And there's a few other things I need to tweak, which feels like it's almost frustrating because I just want there to be that grip. I want there to be that bite. But obviously it's the same for everyone and it's authentic. So, I can't really complain about that whatsoever. Okay, so let's jump into Lambo. I know we're doing comparisons, right? We'll keep doing comparisons, but I want to try it. Got to go for the Iron Dames. We'll go the Le Mans livery. We'll give it 2 laps. 2 laps of practice. Yep, 100%. So I think I'm going to keep on. I don't want to keep repeating myself, let's say, but that wasn't deadly. That was a little bit more challenging at the limit, and it was less forgiving, but in a fair way. I didn't have a spin, but I had a couple of big moments. It didn't give me as much satisfaction of like being able to drive out the corners because I'm a sucker for some grip and satisfaction. But it more reflected what GT3 racing's actually like, and we'll all get used to that. And also the car itself is front-engined. Other cars like this might rotate a little bit more. Let's see. So no complaints. Happy with how it feels. Need to get used to it. Need to get, I think, used to the... Well, I guess part of getting used to it is also learning to enjoy it. iRacing's update was different. iRacing's update made it better and more enjoyable. This made it better and mixed in terms of enjoyment. Unable to join the server, probably too late. Oh well. Thankfully, our bad performances in those races have meant we're no longer the highest ranked driver from the 360 people. So, yeah. Yes, Ashak. Generally speaking, mid-engined cars oversteer more. So it's not like a guarantee, because obviously it depends on how you set them up, and you can make a front-engine car very oversteery and unstable, and vice versa. You can make a mid-engine car safer. But generally speaking, the natural characteristics are mid-engine cars are more oversteery. They tend to have a bit more rotation through like medium-speed corners. They are a little bit less stable, and it's exactly the same like in my real-life experience as well. Driving like a Lotus Elise with a turbo and lots of power. It's not the turbo that makes you spin. It's not the power that makes you spin. It's the balance, because the engine's in the middle and it's so much quicker to snap. That's the thing with mid-engine cars, really. It's the increased snappability. Once it starts going, it just goes. It rotates way faster. But in a proper racing car, a good fast mid-engine car will feel amazing. And there's a reason why prototypes and all of these things are not often front-engined, or those that have been front-engined haven't exactly been made better because they're front-engined. Nice, John. Yeah. I'm looking forward to trying all of these. I was a big fan of the Mustang before, so that's again though, like 911 and McLaren, 911 rear engine, McLaren mid engine, Mustang front engine. So it could be something to do with that. Look, Jake signed up for this race. Jake's absolutely rapid, but still relatively new to LMU by the looks of it. I don't know if that's a correlation, John, because I've not tried it, so it's totally unfair of me to say, but it might be something to do with that. Because that extra grip and bite would have maybe made a bigger difference to the front engine cars, because they need it in order to, yeah, like as Dave said, like how to draw speed out of front engine cars. It's a skill, but it's a skill with all of them. So I do wonder if that's related in some way. Hopefully we have a little bit of a more exciting battle this time. I didn't feel very in the zone with that one. Like with the iRacing race at Brands, despite me being less familiar with that sim, I managed to get in a zone and in a consistent rhythm, and I felt like I knew what I was doing in the corners each time. And pace-wise, I felt kind of similarly mid-competitive, where I had okay pace, enough to be in the mid-pack, but not enough to challenge the leaders, and not enough to be towards the back. If anything, I was possibly more competitive relatively in iRacing, but iRacing I wasn't in the top split. That's a big difference. In LMU, I was in the top split. In iRacing, I would have been struggling a lot more in the top split. So maybe it's all perception. But my lap times in iRacing were like very, very consistent. I think they were semi-consistent in that race. I need to go and look back at them. I think they were semi-consistent. I was maybe mucking around a lot with the braking, and that maybe took away some of that consistency. But it didn't feel as consistent. I didn't feel as dialed in, for sure. And I wasn't as, again, the same thing, but like satisfied. I wasn't as satisfied with that race. I'll see if Ross makes it in time. I think registration opens for the iRacing race, which I'm going to end the stream with. I think it opens in like 5 minutes. So if I remember, between qualifying and the race, I will jump onto the iRacing UI, register for the race, so then I don't miss it. Because it's going to be like literally a couple of minutes in it.
Hello.
I was just about to say, I wonder if you're going to make it for this. Did you make it?
Said it starts in 38 minutes, so I've missed it, obviously.
That's the wrong one, yeah. Hey, I'm doing another iRacing race at 4:15, so there's that if you want to join.
That's quite annoying, because I had like the daily races up, and it just kept saying you can only sign up early with Race Control Pro.
Ah, yeah.
So I never got an option to actually just click in and join the event, which is weird.
Yeah, that you might have needed to like back out, go back in or something, which is obviously not great.
Ugh.
Let's. So I'm just about to jump on in the Lambo for the first time. I'm not sticking to the protocol of driving the BMW because I wanted to experience the Lambo because it's my first chance.
Oh
And
boy.
I want to see how deadly it is. Now, I don't know if we have any recommended traction and ABS settings and everything, but I know everyone's different.
I think you'll need all the traction settings.
We'll leave. Okay, I went down to start with. Let's just leave it on default to start with. Get a feel for it, and then we can dial it back. Does sound good. Right, how many times am I going to spin? Predictions now, because I've not entered a corner yet. How many spins between now and the end of the race?
Two.
2 for Ross. Let's just try and do similar things to the BMW and see straight away there I've got more bite in the front. Obviously I've got cold tyres right now, so I can't give too much analysis. Oh, that's too early. So again, more bite from the front than I'm expecting through all these corners. Oh, fair, Dave. You mean like with custom fast setups, right? That's where we're going to be spinning more. 23 loop spin predicts 23 spins. Great name. Very relevant. Let's get the fuel out. I've got to go to the end of the pit lane very quickly. I will remember to take new tyres as well, guys, for the race. I need to sign up for iRacing and take new tyres. I've taken the traction down slightly. And we're going to take the... Oh, God, I'm not going to make it in time for the... Didn't make it to the end of the pits in time, so I'm probably not going to get my extra lap in at the end. We'll take ABS down to balanced. We'll just go for... straight. I was going to try it on default, but it felt pretty safe straight away. So let's just try going more where I would... Or towards where I would like to be with the car, being a little bit more aggressive. So we're going 5, 5, 6, 52.5, and 6 for the electronics. Oh, that felt different under braking. Hey, Tom. How are you getting on? How's the weather up there on floor 3? You're probably not there on a Friday afternoon. Okay. First ever lap in the Lamborghini. Oh, nice. Let's go 5 on the ABS. Okay, instantly there, you could feel I had a bit of slip. Could have done with a little bit more traction, perhaps. It's going to be an illegal lap.
GG.
Keep it binned. I've clearly taken too much fuel because everyone else around me is on 11% and I'm on 16. Okay, there's a bit of extra rotation, so I think that's too... I think I'm locking up a little bit under brakes or something. So we'll be a bit careful with that. Is that track limits? Anyway, we're definitely not going to get our extra lap in, so at this point I just need to get one semi-reasonable lap in. I'm guessing with the lock-up on crew chief thing, I'm guessing that's because of the new update. It's easier to lock up running low ABS settings, so therefore crew chief is constantly telling you you're locking up every time you do a normal braking. Is that right? Hey, that's exciting, Tom. Look forward to seeing it. Right, come on, one clean lap. So you can trail into the corners. I just need to lift a bit more off the brakes earlier to actually get the nose in, so that's fine. It's something I just need to get used to. It worked there. Be a bit careful through here. Purple through sector 1, interesting. Too much curb on the way in there. No, not great, but purple sector 1. Can be... Actually, it does definitely rotate better than the Beamer on the current default setups. I need to try and adjust my way of driving it as well. But yeah, 13.2 straight away. So we're up there in 4th, so quicker already. I know we're on low fuel. That's not a good start to my last lap. That's going to be track limits. Yeah. Okay, so we've got 1 qualifying lap in, but it's better. That is going to be the end of my session, so I will go back to the pits, make sure we're on new tyres, and sign up for the iRacing race so that we can jump straight into that after this. But yeah, positive start. Obviously, there's still more people setting laps, so I will drop further down the grid. Right. You can't see this, but I'm just going to get registered for 4:15 race. If you're up for joining again on that one, Ross, but I don't know if we'll be in the same split. Probably not. I probably lost iRating from my last one, though.
So yeah, I think I did gain something. Something like 1850 or something like that. But again, it's still going to be like a 200 to 300 gap.
Yeah.
So you doing the 415?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go for it. I'll try and finish off an article before then.
Right, doing work on a work day.
Yeah, I know. I know. Disgraceful. It's funny because like it's very rare that I actually get a chance to play like a sim during the day.
Yeah.
Except when I'm writing about like something that like an update that's happened or something like that. So it's quite good to get like seat time.
That is very fair. That's one thing I really enjoy about the streaming as well, is just getting genuine seat time. If I'm playing a game and I'm thinking about it while I'm doing it, it's a little different to when you're driving in order to try and get capture or find out a specific bit of information. When you're just kind of racing and taking in the race, it just feels a little different.
Yep. Definitely.
Let's go back to what we had. I think it was 556, because that felt really good. We're going to go 48% virtual energy, or 49% virtual energy. I think brake bias was as it was, so we'll just leave that. And anti-lock brakes were down to, I think, 7. So we'll see how that feels.
Right, I'll leave you to it, and I'll be back in 20 minutes.
See you then. And also, JD Racing, watching the stream. You're in this race with me, and we're at 7 Lambos in the top 7 places, so there you go. Awesome. Good luck. Have a fun race. I'll keep an eye out for you. And I'll try my best not to do anything stupid. Let's make sure I take new tyres this time, because I did not have new tyres for the last race, and that is going to help somewhat. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. I was on it, but thank you. Let's see where we can go. I think I feel like I've got more pace straight away in this Lambo, which is interesting. Again, just to go back to the comparison for a little bit, that felt more... It felt less frustrating, more enjoyable, because the front was doing what I wanted it to do. I had the bite. Whether that's a front engine versus mid-engine thing, whether it's the BMW setup not quite being updated yet, it just felt a little bit lazy. Or not lazy, but a bit lacking a bit of sharpness. Whereas the Lambo is like, it's alive and it's good. And obviously we're on fixed setups, so it might be lethal on open setups to go fast. But for me and my my current level of, or lack of knowledge with it, that's absolutely fine. Cheers, thank you. Yeah, I'll enjoy it. What livery are you in? I'm just looking. You're in a... I can't quite see from here, but you're in the number 16, so we'll keep an eye out. Yeah, 100% Dave. 100%. Ishak, honestly, I can't say yet. This is literally my first ever run with the Lambo, so it'd be unfair of me to judge compared to the Ferrari. And I haven't tried the Ferrari since the update, so honestly, if I was saying something, it would not be real. I'd be making it up, because I would need to drive the Ferrari now and the Lambo back to back and see which I prefer. But instant reaction is I enjoyed that from the Lambo, and I always liked the Ferrari in this game as well. So yeah, we'll see how the Ferrari feels now after the update. Cold brakes, cold tires. We'll do a little bit of warming the brakes. I think I just locked up a little bit, which is not good. Right, here we go. Hey, no worries, Ton. Thank you so much. I'm glad those track guides are still really useful for people. You're not the first person to say that in the last few days, so much appreciated. And it means a lot. That was one of the first series we ever did. First series I ever made on YouTube years ago, so there's things we could do to improve them, but I'm really glad that people still get usefulness out of them. Here we go then. Pick a line into turn 1. We went bold around the outside, and I think it worked reasonably well. Unfortunately, I can't see JD on my map right now, so hopefully he's not gone off. But it's just really, really, you know, classic LMU bumper-to-bumper action on the first lap. Straight away, you can get really close to the cars around you, and you sense exactly where they are with the radar and the netcode. I managed to avoid all of the... If there's anything happening on the inside of that first corner, I went all the way around the outside of it, and I think it worked really well. Stayed completely out of trouble. That's a lockup, so ABS needs to actually... I might need to turn it up a little bit, because that did not stop me from locking up there. Also, cold tires will have made a difference.
Time 1:21.32.
Battle of the Lambos. Okay, one's steaming down the inside, missing the braking point. That's going to be a spin. So, unfortunately, I lost 2 spots there just trying to avoid the accident. It's going to be more than 2. And it's that car on the right of me that unfortunately missed their braking point and caused that. Got yellow damage again on the front, so I can't seem to get in a race without getting damage at the moment. More contact. Oh, I'm on to lift. That was properly sketchy for everyone. Still not in line. Yeah, that's really unfortunate there. We've gone from 6th to 10th, but can't say any of that was on us. Yeah, I think I was on ABS 8. That makes sense, and I think I'm on it now, yeah. No, you're right. I think I was. I don't need to go any lower because it doesn't need it on this car, I don't think. You don't need the extra rotation, and you don't need the lockups for sure. I think that Red Bull liveried Lamborghini, of course now we've got custom liveries on LMU. I think they were possibly the culprit in that first corner, and then we had a couple more bits of contact on the run out of it as well. More contact behind me. This has been driving standards not so great. Now I would have to say both of these LMU races, not terrible, but I've seen some questionable driving in both. In front of me, behind me. Oh, more contact. Ferrari and the Lambo. I mean, it's enjoyable, it's getting exciting, but oh, there's a lot of people that are getting very slightly frustrated, I feel. There's a lot of late braking, there's a lot of little nips of contact that don't feel fully necessary.
That time was a 1:15.83.
Right. What can we do about this Ferrari? Get a good exit through here. Probably going to have nowhere to go with this run, so we'll try and go outside, force them to break in the inside, and see if we can do some sort of switchback. Or just go right around the outside. That's also an option, but let's not get forced out too wide. Yeah, great defending from the Ferrari, to be fair. Really good defending. Didn't run wide into me, left me the space, but also was committed under braking not to just let me do a cutback, so really, really good stuff. Let's see what happens now into T1. Again, I can't turn in, so they're closing the door nicely, just stopping me doing any sort of switchback, not braking too late and panicking. And again, nothing I could really do there. Oh, it's when you get that chicane right, it's so satisfying. When you can't see in front of you, it's like a guesswork to where to turn and how to nail it. I could have done that better if I'd have been a bit more aggressive on the right-hander exit, but still got a much better exit than the Ferrari. Such a satisfying little sequence of corners. Let's try a switchback this time. We'll mix up a little bit. No, we can't do it. Oh, just not quite. At a risk turning him. Side draft, if a side draft works. Good battle. Yeah, cheers Stefan for posting that whilst we're racing away here. Console timing. We did ask Stephen about consoles, and there's an article about it on our website, which was actually not part of the video. So if you only watch the YouTube channel, go on the website and you'll find out more about consoles which weren't in the video. Oh, look at that. That's bad net coding all of a sudden. Oh dear. Oh. That's never happened mid-race before. We're back. That was on my end, but that was very scary. So everyone did a really good job to avoid me there. And we've lost a couple of spots. So that's not netcode, that's just some sort of performance issue, but obviously it affects the upload and how my car is perceived by everyone else, how my car actually performs. So that was really, really sketchy. Thankfully survived, because we could have definitely been facing the wrong way after that and ruined someone else's race as well. Oh, right, we've got more pace. I think there was maybe a bit of a crash behind John as well. I saw something in my mirrors, but I didn't know if it was just lights or if it was cars off. I think we've got some more pace right now, but I'm just not quite able to use it. This Ferrari's doing a great job of defending, but I don't think they're as fast. I think there's a few people behind that are a bit quicker. So let's see if we can get away without having those weird performance issues again and try and get back up the order. That was track limits, but hey, we gained a bit. I think someone was also sending chat messages there, maybe about the thing with the ghosting, but I obviously can't really do anything about that right now. An illegal 13.4, gained a little bit through the chicane, so it is right to be illegal. Much better feeling through that first corner in the Lambo than I was getting in the BMW. Much better as a stretch, slightly better. Now, what I was just thinking, I could buy the Lamborghini on iRacing, because I don't actually own the Lamborghini. I could buy it and do a proper Lamborghini back-to-back as well, but I've just realised, because I'm already registered for the event, I had to do it in a rush. I can't, obviously there's no point now before the start of the race where I can actually unregister and buy a car, so I'm kind of committed, unfortunately, but that would have been a good idea. If I'd have thought of it a bit earlier, we might have been able to do the Lamborghini, but hey-ho. Unfortunately not, John. We're gonna jump back onto iRacing for another race there. But I will get to it. Ten minutes to go. Having to be a little bit early on the brakes in some of the corners, just because the Lambo in front's very early on the brakes due to the Ferrari not hitting the back of them, so I don't want to get caught out by a domino effect and end up being the guy who causes the issue for both cars. It's this corner where I can get a really good exit with the right line, like that. Oh, the Ferrari's lost it. Oh, what a shame, but we've got the run now. And that wasn't because the Ferrari lost it, that's just because we got a good run. Keep going outside there. Maybe I should try a switch back to the inside, but we'll keep them pinned in. Oh, that worked. A bit of contact with the BMW, and it almost helped, actually. Not really the BMW's fault either. Oh, no, weird graphics thing happening slightly. Oh, that was close. Okay, I'm concentrating now. Can we get inside? Yes. Right, I've got to play it smart here, defend it smartly. Yes. That was fair, good racing. Overall, I would say. Bit of a few little bumps here and there, but it was okay, wasn't it, really? Good fun. Hey Jay, how's it going? Welcome back to another stream. Nice little battle, good clean racing between all three cars. Oh, that BMW, I'm going to turn in because I don't want to be clattered. They'd gone too deep. Beamer's better on the brakes, I think, which is interesting. Maybe I'm just so used to braking early to be safe in a train that I'm not really using the brakes fully. Alright, I've got a bit of space now. They're battling. Unfortunately, it's only P9, guys. I feel like it could have been better if this race had worked out differently. That avoidance on the opening lap when the car was, or the second lap where the car missed the braking point and took out the guy in front of me and I got kind of caught on the outside, that unfortunately has cost us a lot in this race. But it was a really good fun battle nonetheless. Yeah, so Jay, I've been kind of talking throughout the stream about how I'm finding the two of them on an individual basis and doing a little bit of comparison. So I will give you another rundown though. Very soon. Now that this race is settling down a little bit, we're probably going to have a chance. So sorry for if anyone obviously has been here since the start. Thank you so much for joining. I might be repeating myself at points, but it's just for anyone who hasn't been here since the start, just getting the comparisons in. I might be repeating myself. So both, I'd say, have made a step forward in terms of tyre model. The LMU step forward is probably going to split opinion more, and it's going to take a bit more getting used to and getting comfortable with to actually enjoy driving it more, but it's a step forward in terms of authenticity, and I think people will get used to it, and it still feels great. I'm loving the detail in the force feedback. I'm loving the additional detail now at lower speed. And I'm liking the fact that you can't get away with overdriving as much as you could before. You can't just, get away with unrealistically high slip angle and super early throttle just to get this kind of grip that shouldn't really quite exist. So it's positive, but it's frustrating because you've gotten so used to and so comfortable with this speed that I think it's going to take a little bit of time for people to get comfortable, but all good. And I definitely need to learn it myself a bit more to be better. But that's part of the fun of sim racing, right? There's always something to be working on and improving. That was a beautiful turn 1. That is the first time today where I felt like I've done turn 1 right. iRacing, on the other hand, Jay. We're going to do another iRacing race in a minute. iRacing step forward for me is across the board. It's a step forward, as in, yes, it feels more what I would expect to be authentic. It feels better, but it also feels more enjoyable. It also feels more user-friendly. It's a step forward in every direction rather than like 2 steps forward with 1 side step or step back or something. You know what I mean? So, I mean, credit to everyone for both games. But I'm actually, as someone who would have come into this saying, which would I rather race GT3s on, iRacing or LMU, I would have said LMU. I've had, I think, a more enjoyable racing experience today on iRacing. And that's just... Sorry, everyone. We got the spin. We got the spin. And I'm not saying that it's not as enjoyable because of that. I made that comment before I mucked up. Oh, JD's passed us as well. Hey, JD. What was I saying? Yeah, I think that first iRacing race at Brands Hatch, everything just felt really well connected. I think the tire model is a clear, like the way the grip comes in is consistent. It doesn't feel as much like it's going to kill you, but it's still very much capable of snapping on you, exiting the corners, and also if you go in a bit too hot, you can still feel that rotation coming, but you have a little bit of a chance to catch it. And when you do get it wrong and the tires overheat, it's not like a ridiculous level where it's just, nowhere near enjoyable. Speaking of... Oh dear. I saw that quite far ahead, but I was going to turn right, and I had no rotation whatsoever. And then the Ferrari pulled forward to try and get out of the way. Anyway. It's fine. This race is in the bin anyway. I will get through the analysis. Yeah, it certainly felt like the tire was more friendly, but it didn't feel like it was way faster and giving me like lots of unrealistic grip or anything like that, which has been a problem in other iRacing cars in the past. Like we've had that problem with GTPs, where they've had just too much grip. Didn't really feel like that in the GT3. And the racing was really, really good. I mean, I think the LMU racing today has been pretty aggressive. Some exciting battles and some really clean, great battles as well, but also within that, a lot of aggression. I think the iRacing race, and let's not, we're about to do another iRacing race, so let's see how it is there. But generally speaking, I think the iRacing race was a little bit more chill. And even though I'm saying that as someone who literally got taken out of the last iRacing race, but getting taken out was a specific one-off scenario that was not caused by, stupidly over-aggressive driving. It was caused by an error of judgment. We've got 1 minute 20 to hang on, and it's that Ferrari again. This time I'm in front, but I've clearly, as you can see, got a lot of steering damage, so... Let's give the Lambo a slipstream. I've got no straight line speed either. We're going to brake in the middle. See more contact with the cars behind. Just little nudges here and there. I think LMU, don't get me wrong, the net code on LMU being generally so good allows that kind of contact. Like, it feels on LMU that you can actually get away with those tiny little bits of side-to-side contact and the bits of rubbing that almost makes it like touring car racing a little bit. But that's okay. I don't mind it, genuinely. If it doesn't damage the car and if everyone's fair and clean. I know racing's not a contact sport, but the odd little side-to-side door nudge is not really going to hurt anyone other than the person who's paying for the door. Oh, it's P11. As long as it's like respectful side-by-side bumping, if that makes sense. We're going to defend the inside here. I've got no straight line speed. Oh, I'm going to lose at least one spot. Is it going to be 2? No, it's going to be 2. Oh, there's still another lap to go. Oops. It's definitely going to be 2. I've not really got a car to fight with here, unfortunately, so I'm just going to have to let some of these go. Oh yeah, you've seen the front. My front left is very overheating, or is overheating very easily. I think that's just the suspension damage. Maybe a flat spot. I don't know if it's maybe a flat spot. I think it's more just the damage from the head-on impact, which was pretty huge. I'd definitely be taken to the medical center for checkups if that was real life. Let's see if we can actually see it. No. Right, there we go. Hey, like the Lambo. Let's hope that the cars that are maybe less, I don't know, the cars that feel a little bit too understeery on default setups, as Le Mans Ultimate said in the chat, let's hope that we get some setup updates to make the default one just a little bit more, like, on the nose, slightly more aggressive, because these mid-engine cars, obviously by nature, should be a little bit more aggressive, but they feel, that felt like an advantage compared to the BMW. Let's say I was much faster in the Lambo as well, and normally I'd be the guy that picks the BMW, not the Lamborghini, so interesting. But yeah, JD, well done, top 10. I think I definitely could have got into the kind of low 13s with a good solid lap there if I was going for it, but no, never like a 12.9 or a 13.1, maybe like a 13.4 or 5. So yeah, hey, we survived that race somehow. And it's 15:15, so we'll get into iRacing now. Oh, JD, well, a few things happened early on, let's say. I made a really good start round the outside. I think you maybe got pushed off or something. So I had a good start, kept it clean. Then unfortunately got caught up with someone else's mistake where they missed their braking point, took out the car in front. I got pushed wide, lost about 4 or 5 spots, got some damage from that whole chain that happened after that. And then I was having a good race after that, really good fun. Some slightly too close battles. And then, yeah, you got spun. That makes sense. And then I spun myself, all on my lonesome. Just put the throttle on out of the last corner, and around she went. And it's like I said before the race with mid-engine cars, when you get that snap, it's very, very hard to recover from that. And that is exactly what happened to me. So it was all my fault, and that was fine. And then after that, there was another big crash, which you should go back and watch in the stream. By essentially head-butted a Ferrari. So that wasn't great. They were trying to get out the way, but it kind of made it a bigger collision, I would say. Right, I'm switching over. You guys will see the screen in just a second. Back onto iRacing for one last go.
Hello.
And Ross is back as well.
Yeah, the iRacing session has just started. So
Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Just on time.
Yeah. I planned this quite well. This is the best planning I've ever done in my life. Brands Hatch once again, guys. I'm actually in a stronger split this time. With a slightly... We're up against... So we've got Matty again in the race in the Merc. So the guy I had that incident with at the end last time. So we're in the same race, which is cool. But I think he's slightly quicker than me, honestly. But maybe I'll do better this time than last time. it's interesting that LMU stuff was frenetic. It was frenetic, and considering that was the top split as well, like it was because it's split by driver ranking, not just safety rating. It was pretty wild, generally speaking. See you next time, JD. Thank you so much. And I'm so sorry you got spun, because we could have had a good battle. And maybe if you hadn't got spun on turn 1, we might have all been in a different spot, and then I wouldn't have got caught up in the other mistake later, and who knows? Who knows? Just reading your comment, Stefan, as well. Yeah. Yeah, Le Mans Ultimate is... I think they're busy, to be fair. There's a lot of work going on. Oh, yeah, he had to leave. I'm just catching up there. Oh, Piers is here as well. I missed the comment from Piers too. Wow, I was properly focused. And I didn't show the FFB settings, Aaron, but it's just because this iRacing race is immediate, so I can only apologise. I have shown them on a previous stream, so if we can go on the previous LMU streams and find the bit where I showed the FFB settings, then they are available. So yeah. Le Mans Ultimate left the chat a while ago. I have to go, or you'll never get V1 or these new cars, and that'll be my fault. So, yeah, LMU had to leave. That's not why I said I preferred iRacing today than LMU, though. I promise.
Yeah. It's time to qualify.
So it is, and it's just loaded. So now we can jump back on. Bring up iRacing for you guys.
I'm going to properly warm the tyres this time. I feel like last time I was too easy on the outlaps.
Yeah, I did a little bit of but you have to be careful, because if you spin, you spin, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like Will Buxton. Okie dokie.
When you're no longer facing forward, you're facing backwards.
Indeed. 23.5 I think I did last qualifying, if I remember correctly. Oh, it's so weird jumping straight back in iRacing after Le Mans Ultimate. Oh! I've literally T1 gone out totally sideways. Forgot about the cold tires in iRacing. That is what it does to the brain. Just absolute muscle memory, and now I've got flat spots probably. Or they're really warm and I'll have pull.
Oh, so I've tried to heat the tyres up and I've got a black flag for not going quickly enough.
Ah. That's maybe the... Yeah. That's the fix for the cheating, maybe.
That is that's realistic, isn't it?
Did you get a warning or a black flag?
Black flag.
Oh, wow. See, that is very unrealistic, because when I used to do qualifying in Mazda MX-5s, I used to drive so slow in the outlap to give myself, like, I basically would wait until I was the last car and then go really, really slow until the people at the front of the queue were catching me again. So I'd basically drive at half the speed, and as soon as I saw someone in my mirror, I would nail it, and then I'd have a full clean track for 2 or 3 laps. Like, that was always my strategy, so it's not illegal.
Yeah. It's one of those things iRacing says it's like realistic and it strives for realism, and then there's things like that where like that's not good, is it?
Yeah, that.
And also as well, when you cut the track and you get like a slowdown penalty, that is not realistic.
Okay, here comes your first time lap.
Oh yeah, definitely. It is a way of dealing with it though, without, like, obviously LMU has its system where you have a certain number of warnings.
Yeah.
At least with iRacing, it's not realistic, but I think it's actually more fair in terms of, you know, you're punished for cutting rather than just getting away with a few. I mean, in real life you get away with it, but I think it's because sim racing can do that, real life can't. I can kind of understand it.
Yeah. Well, I have to say I don't like it.
That is fair.
I prefer when it is more like realistic and you get like 3 or 4 chances, and then once you've gone over that kind of allowance, then that's when you get a penalty.
Yeah.
That makes more sense to me. Oh, no temperature.
I don't even know what I've got for temperature, because I don't know if I've got the same... I've got pressure, but I don't know if I've got the same dashboard as you.
I was just like talking about the handling, it just feels like there's nothing there.
Oh, got you. Yeah, I'm understeering. Someone's done a 23-1 in their first lap. Now that is incredible.
That's mad. It took me a whole race to get to that level. Like 15 laps.
Alright, push lap coming up, but I've obviously damaged these tyres on my first corner of the outlap because I forgot I was playing iRacing for a second. But I didn't fully spin, I just half spun, and again, that maybe leads into the new tyre model update. That's terrible through Paddock Hill. It's really weird jumping straight from one sim to another without any sort of like warm-up or rest. It's just amazing how it instantly just feels different, you know? Oh, too late. Yeah, it's very similar to my last qualifying effort in iRacing. It's been suboptimal, but all right. Like, it's going to be a mid-23, hopefully, if I get the rest of the lap okay.
Yeah. I'm going at my last lap.
No. It's gone. Trying to make up for lost ground too much and tried to trust the tyres too much, but forgetting that it needs more than 2 laps to get the heat fully in them.
Yeah. It's tricky.
Bottled. Bottled officially.
All right, there's the checkered flag.
See how our in-lap is in terms of pace, just to get an idea. Pushing too hard there. That's fine. It's not they wouldn't have counted anyway, guys, that lap. But I just wanted to see. Put the power down early, and yeah, you can see it doesn't take any prisoners. You can still lose the back end, but I deserved to lose the back end there. So, yeah, no real complaints.
On the back end.
Oh, another mid-24.
Oh yeah. So to be honest, if I'd have got my lap in and not spun off, or run wide, or whatever it was I did. I can't even remember. I think I ran wide. I would have been mid-23 most likely. So I would have been, to be fair, where I am anyway is not that far away position-wise, because I'm, if I'd have got a mid-23, I'm in a higher split this time, I would have been kind of maybe 10th, 11th, 12th, and instead I'm 14th.
Yeah.
So it's not made a huge difference. So yeah, that's fine. Got what I deserved. But it didn't hurt that much in reality. And,
I don't think I'm like stressing the tyres enough initially.
You are a tyre whisperer a bit, Ross, to be fair.
Yeah.
Jay,
sorry. It took me a long time to kind of get into the groove in the race as well. Like, yeah. I just didn't feel like it had any bite.
I was okay. Like, it definitely got better as the race went on, but I was absolutely fine from the start. Interesting. So Piers, this is from earlier, because I'm still catching up on comments. I've been very much like jumping straight from one race to the other. Piers earlier said, I'm really enjoying the new GT3s on LMU. Did a couple of races the other day and it feels more natural. So there you go. I think Piers also believes it feels a bit more natural. Again, not necessarily as easy to go fast, but more natural. Jay,
LMU?
In LMU, yeah. Jay asks, if you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yes, it is, Jay. So I'm just streaming my screen directly so the FOV and everything's exactly the same. Obviously, you have no idea how far away the monitor is from my head, so you don't know how. You don't know what my FOV kind of should be or what that means for me in terms of vision, but you do see the same as I see on my single monitor. The only difference might be that because obviously I'm streaming, it might be that what you see is slightly more, like the frame rate isn't quite as high or quite as clean for you as it is for me. I'm getting a solid 60 everywhere. You hopefully are getting a solid 60 if things are working properly, but sometimes it's a little bit more chuggy for you than it would be for me on my screen because I'm streaming, so there's that to bear in mind as well. And the quality, you're getting the stream at 2K, whereas I'm getting the stream at screen at 4K. So that's also a thing. And Wood, what's my iRating? My iRating's like 2,200 or something. In this category, or 2,100 maybe. I'm not quite sure because they split it between open wheel and GTs recently, didn't they? So, well, not recently anymore.
One to go. Next time by. Line up on the left side.
So I think I'm in
Estimated
split
strength of field is
2 or 3, I would say.
100. 6. Closed. Pit road is closed. Tight field today. Look for opportunities.
Oh well, I think this is going to be really fun though. I'm looking to make progress through the field a little bit, but I think it's a stronger split, so I'm not expecting a stronger result. Obviously in LMU we were in the top split, but that's different entirely.
Catch start 14.
Like a top 10 this one.
6. Car.
That'd be
Catch
nice.
start 15.
Yeah, I'm
car.
starting 16th, I think, or was it not 14th? Maybe more people did laps towards the end, so I think I might be 16th.
Catch start 3. Car.
I'm 14th right now.
Oh hey, so we could okay, we're both in a similar spot.
Catch start 3. Car.
Last to first.
I was gonna say what we need is you to get through to the front and for me to crash out, and then maybe one day we'll be in the same race.
Yeah, if we do that like 10 times, we'll be fine.
The thing is, if we went and did another series that wasn't as popular as GT3s, we would be in the same field. It's because GT3s are so popular, there's so many splits, it means you basically have to have the same iRating as someone else to be in the same split. Like, the iRating spread is very small. It's not at the very top. The top split has a big spread, I'm sure, but everything below the top split, the averages are, you know, generally speaking, most people will have less than 2,000 iRating.
Yes.
Oh, we've had a car disappearing and
There's an incident ahead.
popping around. That's not good. That's the other thing. I'll keep an eye on performance. So in the last race, I had no real issues on iRacing. Ross had one issue where someone flipped or something.
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah.
And on LMU, I had a weird
Catch
performance
start
issue,
3.
which wasn't
Car.
a lag issue. It was a kind of screen freezy type thing. I've been told to catch the 3 car here, so we're going to keep going forward. So yeah, there was an issue on LMU, but the netcode was absolutely fine.
Catch start 3. Car.
And on iRacing, the netcode was absolutely fine, and the performance was fine. So let's just see if we get that again. Don't know if I should have been warming my tyres more. I think everyone else is weaving around hugely, so maybe I should have been.
Doesn't feel like weaving or braking like does very much. It feels like cornering's where all the heat and temperature comes from.
Yeah.
About to go green. Stay
My tyres
focused.
are very blue.
Remember, they might push a bit earlier in iRacing than they do in
Those
LMU.
car is off. Time
I
to
wasn't
do
ready
your
for it.
job.
Yeah, same.
And once
Green,
again,
green,
I've not had a good
green.
start. Oh, there's a crash in the pit straight. Right, I need to survive this.
Oh. Yeah, we've not started yet.
Car on your left. Clear.
And there's a disappearing McLaren in front,
Car
so
on
that's
your
not a
left.
good. Straight away,
Clear
that
on
makes
the
it very
left.
hard to race.
Left side.
Remembering I've got cold tyres.
Keep to the right. Clear on the left.
Okay, next up the blinking McLaren. Got someone off on the left. Okay, yeah, McLaren's absolute nightmare. So this is what I've never seen this in LMU. I've seen it so many times in iRacing. It's very difficult, and that's just to do with the McLaren drivers' ping and internet. But because they're disappearing and reappearing and
Right
disappearing,
side.
you just never know if you're going to have a crash.
Still there.
Makes it very
Clear on the
challenging
right.
to
Car
race.
right.
Big crash.
You got a slow car on the left. Clear on the right.
Avoided. Another big crash. Avoided. Jesus.
I need to get through in this McLaren.
It's like a minefield.
Yeah, I'm kind of similar. It's been a minefield for me. I guess I'm further back in the grid this time. It's a higher strength of field, but I am further back on the starting grid, so I'm seeing more of the chaos. And chaos it has been.
Another car off.
You're in the top 10.
Well, this has been an interesting first lap.
Oh, hit the McLaren. All good, 0 contact points, but
Left side. Stay on the right. Stay
right,
on
we're
the
racing
right.
Matty again. So this is the same car as I was racing earlier, so that's awesome.
Clear on the left.
Giving me lots of, oh, yeah, he's giving me lots of space, I think as an apology. Oh, I
Left
cannot get
side.
the power down, hang on. Lost
Clear
2
on the
spots
left.
again.
Car
Ah,
on your left.
it's all happening,
Clear
I'll tell
on
you
the
that. Yeah, Matty left me lots of room there. I think he was that was almost like an apology from earlier. He already sent me a really nice apology after the race, but that was like, I remember, you know, I'm not going to do that to you again. I've got past him, and then I've just been off racing line, can't get the power down in second gear, and I've almost spun, so I've had to lift a couple of times, and boom, 3 spots gone, so... Yeah, you're still very much on iRacing. You still have to be super careful to not make those mistakes. It's still very, very easy to get it wrong. It's just that thing of like, it seems to be less deadly when you actually lose it. You know, it gives you a little bit of a chance. And unfortunately, the blinking McLaren's got us again. That was my fault though, guys. Like, fully my fault. But I survived, so all good. Okay, I thought I was in third gear already. I'm still not back in iRacing mode yet after that couple of races on LMU. I'm still not in the zone that I was earlier. I'm not doing the lap times I was earlier. Oofed. See there. I actually tried turning in at a reasonably high speed, and it just felt like the tyre wasn't quite there underneath me. So you could almost see me like back out of it. Like I just had to correct the steering before the corner just because I felt like it was gonna lose the rear. But I know I can find my rhythm, so I just need to stay calm and focus on my driving, and we'll be fine.
Another person off in front.
Right,
first semi-cam lap complete.
The car in P2 just set the fastest lap. 22.353. New fastest lap for you.
Ooh, that's close. Alright, be good if I can get past this Porsche. I feel like I'm putting them under all sorts of pressure at the moment. And they're very early on the brakes there. I thought I'm usually too early on the brakes, but this Porsche's a little bit more early than me, I think. But again, though, like, because these cars aren't blinking, I'm able to run really close and kind of feel exactly where they are without a radar even. So I don't need a radar in this. I've got my spotter. I can, you know, I can feel where the front of the car is, and that's realistic. And it's great. Like, I trust this enough that I can have a properly close race, and I'm not, obviously I might make a mistake and hit him, don't get me wrong, I'll try not to, but I feel like I know how much distance I've got to the car in front. And I'm not getting any kind of rubber banding or anything like that.
Just set the fastest lap. 22.039. Left side, still there. That was your fastest lap of the session.
So through the
Clear
Porsche,
on the left.
down the inside, and they've let me go. Didn't try too hard to block or defend, and it was 23.2, so get that rhythm back now, hopefully. Don't know how much I can take of the outside there in terms of track limits, so I don't want to take too many risks because we're not in a race, so I can't really play around with it or else I'll get penalties. Is that the blinking McLaren again? I don't know if it's a different one. I think it's a different one. Caught them very quickly. Alright, let's race.
I'm having fun. It's good.
Yeah, same. Really, now that I'm away from that stupid blinking McLaren, And to be fair, they probably don't know they're blinking.
Just set the fastest lap.
It's a really enjoyable race.
21.868.
Very good.
You're in the top 10.
Keep changing down too many gears by accident into paddock. Matty got very lucky there out of the last corner onto the grass in the pit straight. Definitely could have lost it. Nice, 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 nice.
Car right.
Go on, Matty, give me the slipstream.
Still there, hold your line.
Oh, the McLaren's letting me go.
Still there.
See, that's great.
Clear on the
That
right.
that McLaren's like, no, that's 2 cars in a row that have been like, on you go. Now, I'd wonder if that's something to do with safety ratings or if it's just people being a little bit more respectful of, you know, if it goes wrong here, you're having a big shunt, you're not finishing the race. In LMU, Bahrain, that track layout, and you've got to consider the variables as well. Bahrain outer layout is a much more like racing, frenetic fueled circuit where it's just like, you know, there's lots of runoff area, there's wide corners, loads of switchbacks, all that kind of stuff. Whereas Brands GP is a lot more of
The leader just did
a narrow roller coaster.
22.527.
And you could see the McLaren there could have done something to try and fight that, and then maybe in Bahrain or in LMU they might have done, and we could have gone side by side and maybe had some contact. Whereas there they were like, nope, I don't want to die. I'm going to keep going and keep this race going. So yeah, that was good. But obviously, depends on what you're after. If you want crazy frenetic racing or if you want sensible racing. This is online, so it's not against AI. This is all real people online. But this
I'm on for my first 22.8.
Go on!
Woo! There you go.
Oh, nice, Stefan. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's a great championship, great sounds. Brands is an awesome track to watch from as well. 22.8 for Ross. I've done a 22.8 in my last lap as well, so we're about the same pace, I think, as per usual. Trying to be a bit more aggressive with track limits because I think to be honest, Ross, there are some corners where you can actually take a bit more liberty on the inside, like especially second half of the lap.
That extra bit of confidence just to like push it a little bit further.
Yeah.
Because you know the car's not going to break away suddenly. It's like it takes a bit of adjusting to kind of get used to that.
Yeah, I'm back in the swing now, I think, after that little adjustment period where I was not feeling super comfortable.
Just set your fastest
And I've just done a
lap of the session.
22.7 on that lap.
We are where we
Nice.
expected to be.
What position are you in?
I've no idea. I've not got any position like UI things up, so I've not got a clue.
Fair. I always have my relative, because I'm using the default iRacing kind of overlay, but I always have the relative box
Three
up.
car ahead. Go right. There's an incident ahead.
I think that might have been Mr. Blink, who's just lost it. I might be wrong, but that's, anyway, what's that, 8 now?
Yeah, I must be in the top 10 as well because I've overtaken like 5 dead cars and not been overtaken yet. So
I love that you're just guessing your position based on feel.
yeah.
Oh, a bit wide there. I'm feeling good though. I'm not using the lap time indicator just because I think I drive too much on it. If I have it on, I'll look at it too much. But this lap, I think I've made a couple of small mistakes. It's probably going to be another 22.7 or 8. But I think it was a better lap in other corners. Let's see.
New fastest lap for you.
No, 22.5. Okay, so we're getting there. We're
Wow.
slowly
Well done.
finding some pace. But that's just it. That's where like experience and stuff kicks in. You just, without doing anything really other than just focusing and kind of honing in and trying a bit of confidence, start finding lap time. I'm using more track limits as well. I'm following the cars around me to try and learn how much I can take them. And I'm using more than I was at the start. Oh, Matty's lost
Go
it.
right.
That's a shame because it was lining up to be a good race. Oh no. John, what are you doing? Ugh. Oh yeah, see, that would have been a good lap as well, but bailed out, unfortunately. But it would have been another low 22, so yeah, pace is coming through nicely now. And again, I'm feeling that rhythm, feeling close to the limit of the car, but I also, that's the thing, like, I know there's more lap time in it, obviously, but you look at what happened to Matty there, look what happened to me in qualifying, like, I'm still feeling like I'm in jeopardy. You know, I'm close to losing it every so often, and even on that lap there, I ran wide.
P1 just set the fastest lap, 21.686.
21.6 from the guy in P1.
Wow, unbelievable.
You can use all of that extra runoff on the exit there, which I didn't realise. Yeah, Matty on the last lap there did exactly what I did in the first race, but I didn't lose it. I just had a moment, whereas Matty couldn't quite catch it in the Mercedes. More limits being used. And carry more speed through here, but again, just don't want to cut. Just okay. So what I really want to be doing here is, if I was doing this seriously and I was doing more of these races, I would jump in a practice session, I would do the laps, and I would actually realize exactly where the track limits were. So I would know going into the corners, right, okay, I can take that much curb. I know it's going to ping me there. So that's where I'm missing right now. But the pace is just slowly coming in, and it's feeling really good. Yeah, I'm driving the BMW, guys. BMW M4.
New fastest lap for
There's
you.
a 22.3.
Oh, good lap.
There's a gravel trap. I wasn't in my races in LMU. I mean, I was in battles a lot of the time, but right now I'm kind of being given the space and the brain space to just focus on my driving. I'm in a rhythm, I'm learning, I'm picking up little bits here and there. During those LMU races, I didn't really feel like I was doing that at any point. I just felt like I was in the moment of the race a bit more, in the scrap, and obviously trying to pick out my lines and stuff, but I wasn't feeling like I was making progress and learning what I was doing very well. Whereas in this, I feel like I am, but that's also a reflection of my overall time on these sims in recent times. Obviously, I've had way more time on iRacing than LMU in total, but this year, I've had more time on LMU than iRacing, so despite all these updates, it's like, on iRacing right now, I'm learning more than I probably am on LMU, even though I've still got to learn that new tyre model, but it felt, yeah, it's a different emotion and different feeling doing the race, and it also definitely fueled by the track. Like, this track is like hot lap concentration every minute, whereas when you're playing LMU in those races, it's like, this is just battling and racecraft every minute and like braking zones, rather than just thinking your way through the speed in every corner, if that makes sense.
Yeah, one wheel of the grass and you're dead here.
And that's the other thing as well. It might be, if I was racing on, you know, a more technical circuit on LMU than Bahrain Outer, that might be the case, and vice versa. If I was racing right now around Bahrain Outer on iRacing, then maybe the roles would be reversed.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, 3.5 minutes to go. We're coming towards the end of this. See if I can get another couple of decent laps in. Been a great day though. We've finally found a flaw with the iRacing stuff just now there with the blinking McLaren. That's something that, again, you don't get in other sims, and it's a downside of iRacing, the way that works. But other than that, it's been good. Not really been finding the flaws to point out with it, and I've been thoroughly enjoying these races. And as I said earlier, I've actually, and I would say this exactly the same in this one, I'm enjoying the iRacing Brands races more than I enjoyed those Bahrain LMU races that were a lot more frenetic. just that I was getting a more satisfying feeling from the car, even though I'm getting less detail through the force feedback. It's kind of it's a slightly more kind of smooth, less minutely detailed experience, but it's putting a bigger smile on my face for hot lapping right now. That's true, Tom, but then also, I mean, there are other great circuits on LMU, right? Like, there are lots and lots of great circuits on LMU. There is a bigger selection, of course, on iRacing. But iRacing's also a much more expensive product to own and to play, so you've got to take that into account as well. Like, I can't just jump in the Lamborghini on this race on iRacing without spending like $13 or $14 on the one car. I know LMU also has paid DLC, and it's only in early access, so that's debatable in terms of, you know, the feeling behind that. But obviously you're not paying a subscription just to play the game unless you're going for race control, and even that is a lot cheaper than iRacing's. But there's so many different angles you can look at this in, right? Like, there's so many different avenues to compare, and they're very, very different products as well. The most important thing, to be honest, for both of these is, other than the fact that both games feel fantastic, and the tyre model updates are, I would say, improvements to both in different ways, the other massive thing is that there are lots of people playing both of these games, which means that whenever you jump in a race, you're going to be in a race with other people that are the same speed. Like, that is such a huge thing, and I think there are plenty of other sims where you could get this great feeling of hot lapping and all that, but trying to find good races with, you know, people of the same speed is very tricky, and especially at like random times of the day on like an afternoon, you know, weekday afternoon rather than a weekend or an evening. And I mean, to get what, 400 people in a GT3 race on Le Mans Ultimate, which is still in early access, and then obviously in iRacing there are tons of splits as well. It just means that you know, it feels like a real race, because I'm not dealing with people that are 10 seconds faster or 10 seconds slower. I'm dealing with people that are roughly the same pace, and it'll be the same throughout for everyone.
White flag this time.
It's a great time to be a sim racer.
It is a great time to be a sim racer, that's it. Yeah, it's interesting to analyse both of these because of these updates, but at the end of the day, it's like, all we're really doing is celebrating both of them. But no, it's what a great step forward for iRacing as well. How are you feeling, Ross? Like, I know you've obviously not done the LMU races, but are you sharing my thoughts? Or you got anything different?
Basically, I've really not liked iRacing for a long time. But with this GT3 update, it's like, I really can see myself driving iRacing a lot more.
Interesting, yeah. So
like, I'm just enjoying driving it.
Yeah.
And I've never really had that before. The other thing is, I've never really had pace in iRacing either. And that seems to have continued, so I don't know, but I feel a lot more confident. And maybe I'm doing better than what I would have with like the older sort of tyre model.
Yeah.
Just because it's a bit more like confidence inspiring. Like, I've done like hardly any practice. The races are 20 minutes long. I'm on the last lap of another 20-minute race, and I've not like
on the right. Go right.
been close to like falling off the track.
Yeah.
Like a spin or anything like that. Whereas before, I would have been all over the place. Like, I would have spun at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
It just feels like I can push a bit harder, and it's just a bit more enjoyable overall.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, but what I like about it though, the update is like, it's not that they've made it more enjoyable, but they've taken away a bunch of realism or authenticity, or they've not numbed anything. They've just changed it, and it's made it better in every area, it feels, which is based on a very small sample size of just a couple of races. But yeah. Yeah, interesting. So comment from Crooked GT says, I just can't support iRenting's predatory monetary model. They take advantage of sim racers. Yeah, that's a totally fair stance, right? If you don't want to support that, I completely get it, because it is expensive, and it's the the fact that if I buy loads and loads of content now to do all these different races, within 2 years there's going to be too much new stuff, and they're going to be using the new stuff. So I'm constantly falling behind, and I'm paying for a subscription. So it's very expensive. So that's totally fair. I think if people have the money, and if there are sim racers with enough disposable income to justify iRacing, then they're within their right to spend the money on it, right? And there are other options. Like, we don't have to play iRacing.
So I kind of don't have a similar feeling, but I know where he's coming from. Like, I do think it's far too expensive. They haven't raised their prices over the years, which is, I guess that's good. But
in a world where everyone raises their prices, yes.
But yeah, it's far too expensive compared to the competition. To subscribe to content, so you can't even use it like offline if you're not subscribed. It doesn't sit well with me. But today there's like I wrote a news story about iRacing summer sale, and like I got excited because it was like, oh, for 2 years you get like for a 2-year subscription that's like $70. And I was like, oh, I'd subscribe to that.
Yeah.
And then of course the small print says for new memberships only.
Yes.
And it's like, so what about the people that are current subscribers or lapsed subscribers? What are they getting? And obviously they're getting nothing until Black Friday probably. So that kind of thing, yeah, it doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
So before, when I didn't really like the product as much as I do now, like it was fine, I didn't subscribe. But now, because I like it a bit more, I'm kind of tempted to subscribe like more often, more consistently. Might even get the Black Friday deal, but it's like, is it really worth it?
Well, I think people go in waves, right? And some people are just committed to it fully. I think that's the thing for me is the problem with the way the pricing model is. Obviously, it's totally up to any individual whether they want to race on iRacing or not. Like, you can choose iRacing, or you can choose to not play it because there are other options, and no one's going to judge any of that. It's totally up to you. So they're not forcing it on you. The pricing is very frustrating, but at the same time, it's like, well, if people pay it and they make money from it, then they get more money in, and hopefully they spend it on making the service better. But you're right in that when you compare it to other things, it's just not as good value. And also when you consider the fact that once you're committed to it and you've bought lots of content, you feel like you have to keep subscribing because you're so deep in it, right? So like if you have a sim racing career on iRacing, essentially, where you've been working on ratings for years and you have been buying content for years and your friends are all on iRacing, it's having that expensive subscription model and expensive content means that like you feel like you've got to keep subscribing and keep paying for it just to maintain your sim racing. And that's different from someone who buys a game for, even if it's 70 quid or 80 quid, or even spends 150 quid on it and DLC, or it's AC for £5. Once you buy it and you enjoy it, then it's like, wow, I'm getting my money's worth out of this. This is great. And I can do whatever I want at any moment. I've got my money out of it. Whereas iRacing is very much like, well, if I'm in this now, it's going to be very hard to quit. But I'm constantly looking at when my subscription's going to run out. So yeah, there are, of course, with all of these things, like, there's nuance to it, and there's also, I think everyone's well within the right to say iRacing is way too expensive, and I'm not going to do it. Totally get that. And I understand why you're upset, because it means that it's kind of gatekeeping in a way where that pricing model means that people that can't afford it don't buy it and don't get to experience it, and iRacing might be fine with the money if they didn't have that system. But, again, that's not iRacing's problem. Like, iRacing doesn't owe the sim racing community everything that they worked on. They're a business that have been set up to make money, and they provide, yes, for a lot of money, a very good service with flaws, and which has changed and worked on over the years. But fundamentally, it's a great service. So I can completely see the different sides of the coin. Yeah, you're right, Oz.
For many people, iRacing is like their only like sim that they use, so it makes sense. It's like they're investing in that, and it's like their whole thing.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, you commit to
like
it.
They've still got like 100,000 subscribers, so you know, why is that?
Yeah.
Is it because it's good? Is it because it's marketed well? You know, it's a combination of a lot of things, I suppose, but
yeah, it has to be. And I think within that, you also, like, you have to think about how many people are actually playing it. And as a comment, actually, Tom's just said exactly what I was thinking. Like, it works because it's popular. So what ends up happening is the reason that a lot of people celebrate iRacing and play iRacing and want other people in iRacing is because the more people that play it, the more series are active, the more cars you can actually enjoy, the better the racing is. iRacing's very active to the point where I just got in a race there, not in the same split as Ross, even though we're very similarly matched in pace, not too different in iRating, and we both had really fun, great races with a fair field that we were fighting through, and people at the top that were too fast and people below us that were too slow. So because that user base is there, it's trying to get that like to a new service or something that's a lot like that's the challenge. You need to have the player base. That's where Le Mans Ultimate has gotten over a really difficult part, where if I go on Le Mans Ultimate at any time of the day, I can guarantee you I will get good racing. I can't get every series good. Like, I sometimes jump in a weekly event or a special event or a championship mode race, and there's only 3 people signed up, so I've had to back out of races before in LMU on stream because there's not enough people. So it's not perfect, but there are always at least some races that are full at any given moment, so you will always get a decent race if you want it. You just might be a bit limited to what you choose. iRacing is the same. Like, there are obviously series that run all the time that aren't actually, that aren't actually full and that don't give you good racing, but there's always enough series and enough variety that if you really want to race something, you will find a good race, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's plenty to do, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's good discussion though. I enjoy it. And hey, all we can do is judge. People can choose whether they pay for iRacing or not. We can judge whether something's worth the money or not. But if you take money aside and talk about the experience today, like, we're talking about iRacing versus LMU. I love what LMU's done in the last year and a half. I am a huge fan of the game, and as you'll know, there are of course things I would like to see be better, but it's early access. There are features I'd like to see added, really important ones, but it's still a great fundamental game. I always argue that LMU at the moment, it probably provides the best actual racing experience online when you get it all hooked up and working. But I've just jumped on iRacing for today, and I would say I enjoyed the iRacing races more. Like, which one would I want to do if I was doing a 5th race right now after the stream? Which race would I rather do? I'd rather do another one of those brands races, honestly, at this moment. That's not been the case in the past. I very much wanted to do more of the LMU races, so it's also down to combos. Like, maybe if I'm driving an LMP2 car around Sebring or another circuit, maybe I go for LMU over this, because I'm not as big a GT3 fan as I think a lot of people are. So all I'm talking about is a very small sample size from today, but what I can't do is lie and say that, today, LMU and GT3s was a far better experience, because both were great experiences. So yeah.
I mean, one thing I could criticise iRacing for is the pace of progress. It's like, fair enough, they constantly update things, they add things, but how long did it take for the GT3 tyre model to get to this level?
Yes, more than a year. It's been about 10 years.
Is it not 15 years since GT3 started or something? But
yeah.
So we had that. Yeah, great, it's fixed, but it's it took a hell of a long time to get there. Plus, the rain as well, that was delayed for years. So yeah, they do constantly update the service, but should they be updated it quicker? Should these improvements be happening faster? Arguably, probably yes. Especially compared to AC, ACC, and LMU that have existed for a couple of years and have all these dynamic weather features and things like that from the get-go. So yeah, I think our takeaway is, it's quite good. If you like it, great. If you enjoy it, it's probably worth it. So we're just kind of lucky to have so many choices that are quite good.
Well, another comment in from L Hunter. Yeah, totally. They were working on the GTP tyre model before this, 100%. But the GT3s have been around for, as Ross said, about 15 years or something. It's a long time. The game is old tech, so that does affect things, I'm sure. And this is based on an old engine. But also the GTP tyre model, what I would say is when it first launches and when a car first gets added to the service, the amount of money that you're having to pay for that car, which a lot of the time is maybe $14.95 or something like that, you would think that, yes, they've got the variety, so they've got lots of cars to work on, but you would think that they would get that right or close to right from the start. I'm not saying that everyone's perfect and they should get it spot on at the start. That's not how life works. But they've introduced the GTP with big issues, and they've had to change the tyre model drastically a couple of times, and it's still, there's certain things not tyre model related that are still not right with some of those cars, and the hybrid systems are not authentic and all of this. Now, doesn't matter to everyone, but I think when you're charging that much for a car, you should probably, you know, launch it in a state that's closer to being how it probably should be, I would argue. Now, again, I can't complain. When people actually fix things quickly, it's hard to complain because you can't always launch things perfectly. Sometimes things need adjusted, they need tested. LMU is a prime example. Like this GT3 tyre update, a lot of people were unhappy right at the start. Seems like it's calmed down a little bit now, but the changes are still implemented, and they've just been, you know, I guess like the things around that have been tweaked a little bit to make it work better. But yeah, this GT3 tyre model could have been sorted earlier. Like me and Ross both, I think, completely independently in this situation, and I'm not being biased here. I don't think there's any ingrown bias, but I think we both came to the same conclusion that this was a much better experience today in GT3s than we've had in previous GT3 experiences in iRacing. Like, it's a noticeably better experience. So great that they finally got there, but it has taken a long time.
Definitely, yeah.
And yeah, I think people have paid a lot of money for a lot of GT3 cars that are no longer relevant over the years. But yeah, I mean, hey, everyone's trying to make as good a game as they can with the data, with the information they've got, and we choose whether we want to buy it or not. And that's what we're here to do, is try and share some thoughts and opinions. And hopefully we've done that today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the racing, and I always enjoy the chats. So yeah, I think it's good. And hey, we've got great options now. If you want to jump on LMU and do some racing and GT3 and hypercar and obviously WEC focus stuff, ELMS coming at some point soon, then it's just a fantastic experience. Online racing's amazing. Netcode is near perfect. Performance and stuff not quite perfect yet, but the racing itself is really, really good. However, if you also want to pay the money for iRacing with more diversity, huge amount of different classes, huge amount of tracks, great filled races, a great ecosystem, a great ranking system, questionable netcode sometimes, but overall a really good experience, and you're willing to spend the money on it, then you've got an amazing sim racing experience. So as we said earlier, we're lucky right now to be sim racers in the time that we are, because we've never really had it better.
Yeah. Also, iRacing has not killed, so you know, there's
obviously,
that.
yeah, that's a big advantage. Yeah, Donovan. I like your name, by the way, Donovan Leher Logistical Nightmare Racing. That sounds like an IndyCar name for sure. It sounds like, you know, a team that gets a one-off at Indianapolis each year but doesn't get a full season ticket. iRacing needs to be brought into the modern era. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And Hunter, yeah, exactly. Like, in the last update, these things have been addressed. There's still improvements to certain cars, but
well,
some of them have been addressed.
The hybrid model for the GTPs is still not there.
Correct.
Again, that's something that's been around for a couple of years and not been sort of fixed, and it's not on the same level as LMU. So yeah, that's, again, they're going to fix it, they say. So yeah, it's one of these things again that's like, maybe it should have happened a lot earlier than what it has.
Especially with the price you're paying for that car as well, right? Like for the Ferrari, for instance, like to have a kind of botched job, fake hybrid system that's not what it is. But
so it's not ideal, but like again, it drove really well when I tried it initially. It was pretty nice to drive. So again, if you just want to drive a car that feels good, then great.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop now, because I could sit and chat with you guys all for hours and hours, but we've been going for 3 hours, and it's been a pleasure. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Do subscribe to the channel if you want to see more streams. We're trying to stream at least once a week. Sometimes we won't if I'm away, but there might also be times where I stream multiple times a week. So if you enjoy this sort of stuff, subscribe. And also, of course, we have main videos as well going out in the channel too. So yeah, leave us a like if you've enjoyed it, and we'll catch up with you again soon. Thanks so much to all of you who've been commenting. Thanks to all of you who have not been commenting. I know there are plenty of people that sit and watch and listen and aren't on the comments all the time, and I hugely appreciate the support that you guys give, the silent support you guys give as well, massively. And obviously those of you in the chat as well, you know that we love a good conversation. It's great. Much appreciated. We do have a video coming out at some point in the next few weeks, hopefully, about hypercars and LMDHs across different sims. So some of the talking points we've discussed, myself and Ross just now, may well be getting thoroughly scrutinized and analyzed in an upcoming video. So keep an eye out for that one. And yeah, it's been a pleasure as always. See you later. Keep it pinned. We don't say that anymore.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
no,
Don't
keep it pinned. Don't keep it pinned. What is?
Do something. Do the opposite.
What is it we started saying? Welcome to the paddock. That's it.
Welcome to the paddock.
I mean all of
Yes.
these things though. Keep it pinned, but not too much because you'll spin. And yeah, have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the racing, whatever you're doing, and we'll catch up with you again soon. Bye.
Cheers.